Yeah, I had to turn that light down because yesterday I had a fucking hell of a migraine. I mean, it was so bad I was puking.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Maybe I should turn this down too.
What are we turning down now? Oh, there you go. Ooh.
A little more intimate. Yeah.
Getting little creepy crawlies over there.
That's not bad.
Oh, there's a shadow behind you on your left side.
Ah. Good evening, everybody.
Turn it on and then point it away from you.
Yeah.
There you go.
That shadow I don't mind right there. That's all right.
Vella, Stacy, Jessica, Chris. What's up, Chris?
Good evening.
DD.
You know, I was talking to Bam, debating on whether or not we're going to watch this video of hers.
He wasn't talking to me. Don't let him lie to you. He's just like those fucking Democrats. They their mouth is moving. They lying.
Yep, it's on YouTube, and you can do.
Chris. Oh, we have two Chris's. We have an Escobar and a Baker. I'll take a dozen cookies, Baker.
And yes, please subscribe to my new YouTube page.
Hello, Heather.
Hey, guys.
Stephanie.
Punky. What's up, Dee Dee?
What is that, Punky Brewster?
Julie. Cool. Thank you for subscribing, y'all. Oh yeah, I saw that. Now I know this has triggered people already. Did you see somebody put that filter that
I've seen several filters. Yeah, the Down syndrome filter, the bitch rest or the bitch face resting one. I think there was a pig or a boar one I've seen. I mean, there was all kinds. There was an old wrinkled woman filter.
So Vanessa went live last night at like midnight.
Oh, she did not.
It seems like that's her thing now. She waits until everybody's asleep.
When she's all snorted and coked up and cracked out and safe at home where she can't get another DUI.
What did Timmy call Kamala? Did he call her something? What did he call her?
Did you see the blunder fucking Biden did?
Oh, put the Trump hat on?
Well, that, and he said, and I posted it to my Facebook page, my new Facebook page, not my old one, because I can't log into that one.
But by the way, that is Bam's new, for now, Facebook page.
Yeah. He actually said that he chose Donald Trump as vice president because he knew she would not make a good president.
Oh my goodness, poor guy. See, this is that's why I plan to retire early. I don't want to be 80 years old and I crap in my pants and you can't take me anywhere because I'm gonna crap and pee in my pants and all that.
Hey,
stuff. I can barely walk. Can't ride a bike. Can't go enjoy yourself. That's how you've been at a job for way too long.
Well, speaking of crap in your pants.
Yeah.
I thought I had just let me say, don't ever trust a fart. Don't ever trust a fart.
Oh no, don't tell me you sharded.
I did. Happens to the best of us.
I don't know that I would ever admit that. At
Hey,
least not.
I'm human.
So hopefully you were at home.
I was.
Oh, good. Well, that doesn't count as a bad thing then.
No, but it was still quite nasty. And it was remnants of my migraine that I had yesterday. I mean, I was puking. It was just not a good day for me yesterday at all.
He called her a prostituter.
Oh yeah, and then I shared another one where the moderator said we asked each debater to choose a song that best portrays their opponent. And then they played "She's a Hoe" or some shit. Oh. But there was one point that somebody made, and I think I shared this to my Facebook page. I honestly can't remember. When Kamala stumbled for a minute and she was talking about President Trump, and she said this, and I swear to God, after he pointed it out, I believe
yes.
She wanted to say motherfucker.
That's what I think she did. I think she wanted to say that too, or this asshole, or this fool, or whatever. And you know what? I was hoping she would have said it. It would have been a straight up honest thing that she would have said,
Well, and then, she's talking about, I'm not going to take your gun. Stop lying. Okay. Well, then, in 3 different little things somebody shared right after that, I'm not going to take your gun. Stop lying. She said, oh, yeah, it's mandatory 100% buyback. I'm a big fan of buying back firearms. And it's going to be mandatory. I mean, this bitch just flip-flops like a fish out of water. Hey,
yeah.
Kathy.
Everybody's got their whatever reasons to change their minds on this and that. But hers, these are like big policy decisions that I don't know. Everything she says is fed to her.
Well, and that's another
thing. And don't get me wrong, I don't want this to be this is not going to be a political program tonight, the whole thing. No, we're just touching on a few things because, it's a trending topic.
So supposedly, those pearl earrings she was wearing, supposedly, they were speakers.
Headphones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can purchase them, and they showed where you can purchase them from, and they are real pearls. So you're paying some high dollars for them.
But are they really headphones?
According to the ad, and they showed a close up of her ear and the actual earring, and it was an identical match. Now, whether or not it was the same thing, I don't know. But food for thought.
See, now I got to go back and watch and look at would they be that stupid that they would think nobody's going to go and look this up, and like they check everything, man, from your fingernail colors to
Trump. I don't know how many fucking times, but they never fact checked her. Gee, why? I wonder why. Oh, it was a Democratic news anchors that were the moderators. Gee,
yeah, she's the lady's best friends with Kamala, and
yeah. So Trump was actually against or debating 3 fucking people there, and not one. He was debating 3. So if they do another debate, let's do it on Fox News Network and let them be the moderators.
Yeah, that'll never happen. But even Trump said it doesn't. Trump said it doesn't necessarily have to be on Fox News. He just wants it to be fair.
Well, that'll never happen. As long as you got a Democrat in the race, fair will never happen.
I don't know. The whole eating dogs and cats thing. I had heard that here and there, but
they do it in Mexico. Garfield on your plate.
And while I was doing research, I came across some dudes that had killed a cat, and they already burned the hair off. They were cooking this thing. It was dead. They were cooking this cat over a gas stove, like it was a freaking marshmallow, and they were cooking the cat. It was on a stick, and I had to turn it off. It was.
Pardon me while I roast my pussy.
I think they were making cats. Oh my goodness. Here we go. We're going down the drain again. Oy vey.
Oy vey.
I guess he called her a prostitute or whatever. I'm going to find that clip.
She's a hoe.
A small kid. Oh, that's right. Oriana had a kidney stone. She was putting some interesting, fun stuff on her page. You should follow her page. But she had a kidney stone. You ever had a kidney stone, man? Those things
I
hurt
have not,
like a
but I
mother.
was on an airplane once where a gentleman was passing one.
Oh.
And the whole entire, the airplane, we all heard him. He was moaning and he was trying to be as quiet as he could. But then at the end, you hear ding, ding, and you knew what the fuck it was. The stone's actually hitting the metal in the John.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
If you've never had a kidney stone, if you've never seen one, it's like a little tiny jagged edge little disc. It's like a flat rock.
Yeah, it's pretty much a rock. And
that's why it hurts so much.
And it's coming through a tiny little tube.
That the rock is bigger than.
Yeah, so it is extremely painful.
And it's got jagged edges, and it's like a razor blade, round razor blade passing through your urethra where you pee.
Thank you, Sandra.
And that is so painful. I remember when I got my first one ever, they took me to the hospital, and I'm in the car, and I'm squirming, trying to sit up, lay down, bend over, twist. It doesn't help.
Did they suck them out or cut you and suck them out for you at least?
No.
They made you pass them, huh?
They gave me IV. They told me to drink a lot of water. Gave me some painkillers, which weren't helping. And that was the most painful. Man, that's when I started. That's when I discovered water. Yeah, I started drinking water again.
If you drink a lot of soda and shit, that's how you get kidney stones.
Yeah, that doesn't help. It's a lot depends on your diet.
Yeah.
And then the doctor told me, she's like, "Do you drink?" And I was like, "Hell no, of course not." I don't drink. And I didn't. And she says, "Maybe you should start."
I love her. What's her name?
And I was like, Are you gonna give me a prescription for beer, for liquor or whatever? And she says the alcohol, the liquor makes you go pee. And you need to pee a lot right now. Like,
Not to mention the other side effects to help with the pain.
Yeah, right. But I made a big mistake. Is I started off my first beer ever. And I bought Guinness.
Ew, that's not even beer.
It's like chocolate. It's like a malt. It's black. It's a... I don't know what I was thinking. Of course, that turned me. I was like, I can't drink this shit. And I bought a whole case thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to drink beer now. Guinness. So I crack it open and I'm like, man, how do people drink this shit?
I can't get past the smell of beer. It just smells revolting.
Yeah, it depends. It doesn't smell. At a bar, it doesn't really smell good. Yeah, I get it. This is just Lipton powder tea. Lipton tea.
I have cranberry juice.
Dr. Pepper.
I have cranberry juice.
Well, let's see. Hey, Kathy. I'm only here for Bam's jokes and to see. Aw, Alice. You're so kind. Do you have a restaurant or is this from the TV show Alice?
That's Mel's Diner. Thank you very much.
No, it was called. What's it called? Alice.
It was Alice. She worked at Mel's Diner,
At
and
Mel's
Flo was
Diner,
there
right.
with Vera, and Flo
Kiss
was
my
always
grits.
They'll kiss my grits.
If you guys haven't seen that, that was like old classic TV back
Oh
in
my
the
God,
Archie Bunker days.
That was like in the 70s.
No, it was 80s. It was 80s.
Was it 80s? I swear.
Early 80s, man.
Hey, Paul.
In fact, Linda Lavin, the lady who played Alice, she was on Sopranos. She did an episode on Sopranos.
Well, Alice, I hope I don't disappoint tonight. I mean,
Me neither.
Crazy Tits can only take me so far.
I'm almost not even in the mood to play the video because it's a lot of the same old stuff, and I know a lot of you guys don't even want to see it. You know what? I'll let you vote. You want to put on the video?
I'm willing to put $5 on. It's a don't tell me. Let me guess. Video survival.
That's a good guess.
Am I
That's
right?
a very good guess. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh.
But it wouldn't. That's you know what? It sounds right. It sounds right. Yeah, about the debate. I heard those two got.
Julie
What two
said
got
bingo.
fired? Who got fired? Are you talking about the host from the debate? You're not going to fire David Muir. Everybody loves David Muir.
They pay that guy over $1 million a year. They're not going to fire him.
I don't know. He's too popular.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. Kim says, I feel like there's a reason she wanted to sit on that side, then had her hair over her right ear.
Julie said bingo. So either she's seen this video we're about to play, or she's assuming I'm right.
Okay, so somebody said it here that Vanessa deleted that video from
Guess
last
what?
night.
We have it.
We have it.
it.
Is your thumb thing working yet, Bam?
No. Yours isn't working either.
No, let me fix that.
Where the fuck's that at? Oh, I did that. I did that once. Where the fuck did I find that at?
It's at the little FaceTime icon, top of your Mac. So that video, she deleted it for some reason. I wonder why. Because she doesn't always delete videos, right? I wonder why.
I wonder why.
How do you make these things go up automatically? Whoa. Yeah, we had this for 2 days, a couple days ago. Groovy, man.
Groovy, dude.
All right. Well, we'll quit playing with ourselves right now.
That's called masturbation.
Oh.
Remember in the movie Grease, that was a very risque movie for the time, when that old woman is sitting there going, remember, it's better to play in a group than with yourself.
Chinese people do that in the third world countries. Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh.
But they don't see it as animal abuse. They see it as it's just an animal and we can eat it.
Can we eat it, though? Can we, though?
I couldn't. I would never. I don't know.
I mean,
I
I
hope
eat
I'm
animals
never-
every day, usually cows.
I hope I'm never.
Pigs
And then you wonder if they're getting all this money. Because I've seen these photos of a receipt where these dudes got $8,000 on their food stamp account and 14 grand
and
cash.
here you have people living in this country working their damn ass off, and they can't even get $20 in food stamps because they make too much money.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah, I saw that video too.
So you're just better off renouncing your citizenship, go to Mexico, come back illegally, and get a free house, get free food stamps, get free health, get free everything.
I want to say in Mexico here across the street, they don't eat dogs. Our cats.
Okay, so I got to point this out, and I have, I don't have a prejudiced bone in my fucking body. But lately, within the past 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we have cars running around our city with Mexican flags on their hood, Mexican flags hanging off the back of their windows, Mexican flags hanging off the back of their pickup trucks, on the hood of their cars. And I'm like, okay, it's great you support Mexico. Dude, you're in fucking America. If you want to fly your Mexican flag, maybe go back to Mexico.
Ooh,
Chances are you're here illegally anyway.
So,
there you go, Manny. Brava.
I've told the story before. When my mom became an American citizen, hey, look at that. She took all her Mexican stuff down. Not that she didn't love her country anymore,
and there's absolutely nothing wrong with your being proud of your heritage. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
She just became an American citizen, and she loved her country. And we had flags all over the place around the house, and she was so proud. And
I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being proud of your heritage. I have absolutely no problem with that. I mean, if you want to support Mexico and fly the Mexican flag, maybe you should do it in Mexico. You're here in America now.
But that's part of this being a free country. They can fly whatever flag they want.
Well, this is true. We have rednecks flying the Confederate flag.
I just think if you're coming to this country because your country sucks and you're here getting all this free shit, this is where you should be flying, not any other flag.
I'll
my opinion.
I'll stand by that statement with you. That's what I'm trying to say. You just put it in better terms. Thank you.
That's exactly how I feel. 8mm stone? Are you freaking kidding me, Jessica?
That's a big ass stone.
By the way, that's a good movie. Have you seen 8mm?
8mm? Isn't that? Oh no, I'm thinking of 8 Mile.
Yeah, different movie. 8mm with Nicolas Cage, Joaquin Phoenix.
I probably have, because I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan. I loved him in Wicker Man.
It's a movie where he's a private detective, and he's trying to find if this girl is dead from a snuff film that he saw, which is like a porn film.
A what film?
Snuff.
Oh, smut.
Snuff.
Like porn.
SNUFF. But yes. And
porn.
Basically, yeah. In a true snuff film, they actually kill somebody. They actually kill somebody live in the movie.
What the hell? Where the fuck
do?
are you? Where the fuck are you? Damn it, Jim.
Kidney stones, yeah. You gonna have another one too? Damn, man. What the hell are you eating? What the hell are you eating?
Oh, would you look at that? Somebody loves me. Wonder who.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Good movie. There's a lot of dark shit in that movie. I mean, you hear underground a lot, right? You hear that term all over the place.
All right, let's get to Crazy Tits, because I'm starting to fade.
All right, we'll do a little bit of this, but it's going to be a lot of kind of the same stuff, right?
Same shit, different day.
This is at midnight last night. She has since deleted the video. I wonder why. Oh yeah, got the flag back there. You see it? Love this flag so much.
Manny says, check your private.
My privates?
Chickis says, check your private.
Oh. Smut. Yeah, smut.
Oh, would you look at those pores? Just look at them. Would you look at them? Just look at them. Hello, Annie.
Oh, okay. Hang on, hold on.
Hold the horses.
I am live on YouTube on No More Chickis Lives page, so my mistake. So, hang on. Oops.
Oops. There's no room for oops.
I messed this up.
Oy, man.
Ah. Hang on.
What are we hanging on to?
Okay, so this is where I'm live on YouTube. My apologies.
As you should. I'll keep quiet on this video for now. Okay, Shanae. You must have seen it. So is it a video of survival, Shanae?
Okay, here we go. Let me get rid of the music for now. And do we have a bullshit kid on standby?
Oh, let me get the little guy ready, because he's gonna be here quite often tonight. I'm sure.
My computer.
Where the fuck is he? Oh, there he is.
Bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
Yep, he's on standby. I gave him his bottle and his pacifier. He's good.
I just finished working out. I am so unglamorous right now.
She just finished working out.
And when are you glamorous? I mean,
Can
seriously.
you hear me loud and
I
clear?
haven't seen you look good yet.
I want to make sure. Hi there, Miss Joyce Allen. How are you? Ana Garcia, Alma Lopez, Eloise Perez, Melissa Thompson, Jessica Moore-Noggle, Victoria Reyes Cruz. I'm going to be kind of spicy tonight.
Hey, Crazy Tits, go work out with my buddy
Thank you,
JoJo.
Miss
She'll
Kay
show you what a
Rutherford,
workout
Mimi
is.
Juarez, Carrie Hope Ellis.
Oh, yeah.
How are you? George
She wouldn't
Gomez,
last.
Helen Colon, ¿cómo estás? Teresa Garza, Ira Soto, Miss
What do we
Penny,
want, Pam?
I love you.
This
Y'all, I'm going to talk about
or
my fourth
this?
date.
Let's do this
Let me
because
just-
she's smaller.
Let me clear this space.
Oh, what's
When
that?
I
Your
tell
steamroller?
you that I've been leveling up, I've been leveling up. People don't believe me.
Oh, I've been leveling up. Oh my God.
Oh, God. Oh.
Shut up, bitch. Oh, there's 3. How many times does it... How many times you got to do it
Good.
so you're not crazy?
Here we go.
That tiny ass little whatever you call that thing.
I don't use a script. Hi there, Miss Alma. Alma Lopez. Alma Huertas.
She doesn't use
¿Cómo
scripts.
estás, Kathy? Miss Michelle.
Hey,
Joyce,
Charlene.
Ida. Remember when I told y'all that I was going to have to start...
I got a sound effect for her that's better than that.
Hello, this is Vanessa Behavior coming at you live here in the Rio Grande Valley South.
Felicia.
Remember when I told y'all that I was going to start having to survive, right?
Oh, shut up. No.
But remember,
Not a survival video.
this is no longer 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017,
No, this is 2024, bitch.
2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023.
We know what year it is. God, move it
Vanessa.
along.
Surviving. No.
Surviving. There you go.
That Vanessa that people judge me on even though they've never been in a
How
situation
did I know
or
it was a
these
survival
situations that I've
video?
been in.
How did I know this?
They judge me by that first Vanessa, not the one that I've evolved into. So, haters, if you come over here, that's at your own risk. Okay? I'm in front
Thanks,
of my
Dee Dee.
computer, and in the classiest of ways, I'll show them what you look like, so they can beware.
So it can be what?
Okay? What lipstick did I use in my last video? If y'all really want to know, I'll tell y'all, but this is not about that.
Shut up. No. Oh, look that fat ass, y'all. Did y'all see that ass?
Unfortunately.
And I'm talking F-A-T, not P-H-A-T.
Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, I'm one to talk. I got a fat ass too, but I mean, shit.
She's wearing her hair like
Oh, there's a lip liner.
like Joan Crawford and Mommy Dearest. Remember?
I told you no wire hangers.
No wire hangers. If you guys haven't seen Mommy Dearest, you should check that out. It's pretty
Good movie.
freaky.
No.
Damn
that's
good
not
movie.
it.
What the fuck was her name? That played Joan Crawford.
Faye Dunaway.
This was gonna be
Thank you.
about the, you know.
I love Faye Dunaway.
I do too. She's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna make me dump out my whole purse, right?
I dig Faye Dunaway. She was pretty smoking
Stephanie,
hot.
that was not a pimple. It was a
I will
pineapple.
dump out my whole purse for y'all.
It was a pineapple on her ass.
Here I go.
I want to see that back thing just fall and expose that dirty ass
her
bedroom.
bathroom. I suppose her shit bucket.
Her bucket. I hope she's upgraded from a bucket. Yeah. Great show, Vanessa.
I thought I heard last year that her house was condemned.
No, I don't have it. Hold on.
Is it
It
not
was on the
condemned?
list. It was on the
Maybe
list.
I brought it in.
Oh,
She had deadlines
This is
to
going to
meet.
take away from all
Did
the
she meet them?
seriousness of this post.
we don't know.
What happened was amazing. 1 second.
What do you got to get your little noisemaker out again?
Oh my notebooks.
Oh, look out, y'all. She's taking notes. She's writing down names.
Look at how old those notebooks are. Did you see the pages, what they look like? Seriously.
Oh, why are we cutting video back and forth, Vanessa?
Look at
No, I don't
I
have
did
it.
that.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold on. Maybe I brought it in.
Look at how old these things look.
This is going to take away from all the seriousness of this post. What happened was amazing. 1 second. Oh my notebooks.
Look at those pages. They're not even white. How old do you think that notebook is?
well, when you shop at like a 2-cent store or garage sales and you buy what you can afford, then because she's got priorities. She spends her money on crack. She spends her money on cocaine. She spends her money on the little grilled cheese sandwiches at Starbucks and McDonald's coffee. So her priorities are fucked up.
There's magic in those notebooks. She's got people's profiles written down, notes on all the haters, where they work, phone numbers, how to find them, the different accounts. She's got
Speaking
everything.
of phone numbers, should we give her a call?
Her little red book. Don't do that.
I want to call her.
Why?
Why not?
Because she'll get you for harassment or something.
No, only if I keep continuing to call her. I haven't called her yet.
Or you can do it offline, but I'm not going to put that on video.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Anyway, those notebooks are like from 10 years ago, at least. When paper turns yellow and you don't smoke, except a crack pipe, they're going to turn yellow. The paper turns
That'll
yellow.
turn paper yellow.
Yeah.
It'll turn your nipples yellow too.
Yellow nipples?
See, that's not it, because that's one of the 3.
Yeah, it's called jaundice nipples.
Oh. That's gross. That's pretty gross.
Well, I mean, look what we're dealing with.
I think I found it.
Did you find it? Shut up. You did not
I
find
found
it.
it.
You did not.
I found it.
Shut the fuck up. You actually found something?
All right. Let me do it for you. I don't have no makeup on. And I'm going to look like a damn fool right now because I'm all sweaty and red, but I'm going to put this on for y'all.
That's right.
Show us your pores. Show us your pores.
She's got a hairbrush that she used as a little kid.
This
She
is not
still
my
has
fault,
and
by the way.
uses.
I'm going to talk about a really serious... Hello, my name's Vanessa and I live in the deepest part, the most southern 4 counties of South Texas. And right now I'm doing my audience a favor because they're asking me for a lip combo that I used the other day, and I'm going to
That thing is like 40 years old.
do that for them. I'm the most prosecuted woman in all of America.
Oh, the most prosecuted
But you don't
woman in
know
all of
about me yet
America.
because you've been following my story.
Shut the fuck
And the
up.
reason that you don't know about me yet is because I'm Texas's dirty little secret.
That'd be called
Not
a
a
whore.
secret.
That'd be called
No.
a whore.
There's no secret because nobody fucking knows who you are.
You're Texas's whore if you keep saying that you're Texas's dirty little secret. You'd be a whore.
Dirty? Yes. Texas? Yes.
Secret?
No. You're not secret because nobody knows who the hell you are.
Mm-hmm. I am. I know that if the Republicans that are in charge of this state, if they really knew what happened to me, these Democrats would not have it so easy. Because it was Democrats. It was my own that did it to me. But anyhow, we'll get to that. Well, I'm looking for my sharpener because I want to do it right.
Oh, you're going to sharpen your marker?
I'm just getting my sharpener. Have patience.
Oh, okay. Gillian, I don't know, maybe you're kind of recent follower. She smoked a crack pipe. This was on a private FaceTime video, and then the video got posted. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's. I think it might be on No More Cheatskis Lives page.
Yeah, it might be somewhere on there. I have it. It's on one on that YouTube page I just put up there. YouTube.com/@NoMoreCheatskisLive.
And that's when, well, let's just say you see her topless.
Well, she's topless, but they edited the video to be able to show it online because she was naked.
Yeah, I seen the original one.
Yeah.
And it looked like crooked footballs.
But it was crack. It was a glass.
No,
it's called a glass dick. You know, the
her
glass.
chichi boo boos looked like crooked footballs.
And she lit it and she held her breath. She went,
and that's when I started calling her crooked tits. And now all of a sudden she got a boob job. And now she's not baloney Barb, but I mean we have one nipple going this way, we have another one going that way, and we went.
It's like they're pointing back at her or something. I don't know. She did. It's out there.
Yeah, and if you know who Baloney Barb is, then you know what I'm talking about.
I found it. I love this little sharpener. I got it at Ulta.
Oh, you did not.
Now, the lip liner is by Kaylan and Kyla. Kyla. Kaylin and Kyla. I don't even know what color it is.
Is she teaching us how to do makeup?
Let me see if I have the... You know what? If y'all really love this,
Ha! There you go.
I'll get you all the information.
Yo, KK, what up?
Hey,
Hey,
KK.
how are you? Shanae, hi there. Julie, Stephanie,
Okay.
Gail, welcome back.
And if you all see a hater, let me know.
Take a look.
What made what change? What made what change?
Hey, Jennifer.
Are you talking about my growth, my evolution? That's what we're all supposed to do as humans. All of us. We're all supposed to do that. The
Growth?
problem is that the majority of us don't. And so we stay at our baseline and we stop right there. And we hardly ever evolve into anything close to what we would have evolved into had we continue to put effort and energy into our evolution and our own growth. What made her level up from 2014 till now? You haven't been following me.
I don't know
And
why
I
she
really like
thinks she
your comment.
leveled up. I mean,
That's always a clue. Hold on, let me just take care of this real quick. Y'all are now watching some person that just started doing live videos.
oh yeah. Here's what comes next, right? No other person in politics has ever made as many videos as she has.
That's right.
Is that what she's going to say? Because she said that before.
She has.
No.
And they never go live. Politicians never go live.
If she doesn't say it, I'll be surprised.
I do, Remington. I do. Yes, I do. Let me see.
She do.
Where's this little hater? Where's this little hater? Let me get rid of him right now.
Yes, Serena. Yes.
Oh, they took off their comment.
One of these days, I'll show that
Right,
video
Esther
again.
Queen? You can even see that they took it off their comment. That's a flex.
That's
I
true,
don't care what
Julie.
anybody says. When you have dealt with
Well, she showed more than her ass on a live, Julie. She showed us
The
the whole taco.
that little movement you saw,
Right after she had her
scare them
mommy
away.
makeover,
Poof, be gone.
she was unwrapping her bandages from somewhere. From where? Her stomach,
What's
or
also interesting to me though is whenever somebody
I forgot what
makes
she
a
was doing.
comment that a hater
I can't remember what she was doing
likes,
either.
Did you notice
But
that
she stood up
none of my
and
strongest
did
followers
something,
like
and
that
there it
comment?
was.
stood up and bam, there it was.
We seen more of Vanessa that night than we bargained for.
You know, James and the giant peach. Well, that was the giant peach.
Well, the peach is the
It's
backside.
called It Girl, and it's
But
No,
we've seen that.
This looked like a peach from the front. It was there.
and
It was.
by
There was a hell of a
Ultra Glossy Lip. Okay.
a foobop. What
And you don't
foober?
have to talk in third
Fuck's that
person.
called? Fatty upper pubic area.
This is a
Foopar.
survival page. So I beg my audience
Fupa.
not to have discussions
Fupa, right?
amongst each other
Fupa.
unless the
It's a
live
hell of a
video is
fupa.
over, right? Because in my experience, there's been very sophisticated trolls, and they come over here with fake empathy,
Fake empathy, y'all.
fake inquisitiveness, innocent. Hey, what's going on here? But their whole
Inquisitiveness, is
agenda
that what she said?
was to deviate the attention of my audience, even if it's a little bit, so that they enter a discussion during the live video and they don't so much listen to me. So, all right, this is what I do.
Manny, somebody's
I
asking you a
only
question.
overline certain areas.
Yeah, the one that says Manny is behind the mic. Starting of that one, but for the VT Chronicles and Vanessa, definitely go to the one that I just posted. That one right there.
That's one I do. And I don't leave the ends there. I bring it up onto my lip. Okay?
Okay, you fucking clown.
This is the other place that I overline.
She's doing the Winifred Sanderson makeup.
So I used to have that.
That's it.
I used to have the
Don't overline anymore.
her fat cat that she showed us.
You're just gonna do
I used to have it on a favorite on my pictures, but it seemed kind of creepy to me. I shouldn't have that as a favorite.
Mine's hard.
Well, she did say that
I
you
made
want
it-
to be her.
I made it a favorite.
But you love her.
I made it a favorite so it could be easier to find whenever I had to show you guys. But so I found that creepy and I got rid of it.
She always said that you loved her. And
Yeah.
she says, I want to be her.
Yeah.
Did you see what I
Oh
did
my
there?
god, some funny shit.
I just overlined.
You want to see somebody scary too?
Right?
Oops. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
And
I
now
know I'm
I'm gonna
scary.
line
You don't
the
need to
rest
tell everybody.
like normal on my lip line.
Who's that?
Not out of it.
Oh, that's my life on the D list. Kathy,
Kathy Griffin.
yes.
She looks horrible. Yep.
You see what it's doing there?
What the hell is she doing?
Looking like a clown.
And you're gonna do the same thing on the top. Yes, it's a little Betty Boop. Mm-hmm. That's exactly
Oops.
what it
Let
is.
me go back to there we go. I don't know. Honestly, I watched a video of somebody doing makeup. I watched Bailey Sarian because she does makeup and she does true crime
You see
stories.
how I stayed in on my own lip?
And she's smoking hot too. You know, that helps a little bit. But I watched Bailey Sarian talking about serial killers and stuff like that.
That not only did you fail to identify my son who qualified, but you knew that you could not control the children who were being aggressive towards my son.
Did you just skip, right?
And
I did.
Okay.
the truth is that you all were allowing the general population students to beat up on my kid.
Oh yeah, that's
My
right.
kid had
Yeah.
ADHD, has. And so his growth was a little stunted. You should see him now. He's a huge, big old man. Right?
Right?
So, at the same time, my 16-year-old had been dating this girl and no longer wanted to date her. Broke up with her. Right?
Probably because you knew who she was.
My son didn't tell me that he was being emotionally and physically abused.
Bullshit.
I had no idea. And he called me 3 days in a row telling me, Mom, she keeps hurting me between classes, like physically. And thank God that they didn't pull the whole, you know, what they do across the country. The cameras don't work, right? Kind of thing. They weren't working at that time, right? Well, they caught it. They caught it happening.
Oh, they did
Because I
not.
said my son just came to me with bruises, huge bruises on his stomach. Right. So
Trying
when I
to
try to get justice
trying to
for
find
my
that video
kids,
for you guys, all right?
that's all I was doing. That's it. That's all I was doing. All the people that have hate pages, all the people that don't like me, the only reason they don't like me is because they see me doing this. That's it.
Oh yeah, I don't like you
That's
because
all.
of that. Uh-huh.
And whatever they've seen of me that's unglamorous would have never occurred. No.
So basically, she's talking about would have never occurred. I think she's referring to that night at the motel that she was beat up and tortured and kidnapped for hours and hours and hours. I think it turned out to be less than 40 minutes in reality. So she's saying because she's so glamorous is why she was beat up.
It wouldn't have. That the not so fine moments in the last 8 years were a direct manifestation of what they did to my life. So the girl who was assaulting my older son, who was 16 back then, and my younger son was 11, she then assaulted me in the view of an officer. When you do that in the view of an officer, it's an automatic arrest. What I didn't know when I started seeking justice for my children.
Lay down, stupid.
I live in a small town. And I was naive. And I'm about to, reveal my age. I was so naive that because I've been a nurse since 1998, and I thought, well, if
I found the video when she did that little drug deal while she was live.
Oh, yeah?
The car pulls up next to her and she makes that little transaction. I got that video. I just found it.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to skip forward a little bit because this is really
boring.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liable to fall asleep right here.
everything, it's going to show you everyone that was involved.
Lay down,
You
stupid.
have to look at all the cell phones. This was planned, so you have to look at all of the traffic in the months, days, and weeks leading up to that day.
So, in case you don't know, a lot of you guys, I don't know how long have you been following her or me or whatever. She's blaming 3 specific people for arranging to have her beat up. And that's John Allen, Ofelia Moreno, and Frank Marr. She's telling everybody in the police and anybody who will listen is that they conspired and they paid people to lure her to a motel room on Christmas Eve in the morning. This is what she said happened. We have to talk to you about your campaign. You have to come on. We have to talk. Oh, okay, when can we talk? Well, you got to come right now. This is a motel room. Is that the Pecan Inn or the Walnut? One of them. You got to come to a motel room, and we have to talk to you here in person. Oh, okay, I'll be right there. She goes. She says she was pulled in and kidnapped and held, against her will, and she's got pictures of some of the screenshots of her on the ground and where she's getting beat up and stuff. And she blames those 3. She says there was what did she call it? A the shadowy figure of somebody in front of the motel or in front of her house or something.
The likeness of John Allen.
And she said it was John Allen. And she says she has proof, and she's never come out with it at all because it's a bunch of crap. And I even went and said, you know what? If this happened and you have proof, put it out there, and I'll support you, and we'll get justice for you. I will do that. She won't. She's full of crap. What happened to her was a drug deal gone wrong or a party night gone wrong. That's what happened to her.
Right?
She doesn't do drugs. What are you talking about?
But no.
She's never done
So
drugs
it
a
was
day
in
in her life.
Raymondville. It was done in Raymondville. And they knew to do it here because they have a corrupt district attorney. Well, Vanessa, are you afraid of her? Please. There's a reason why that woman hires a lot of assistant DAs.
What I still want to know is, I don't know. I think 4 hours is about my limit. This is a 4-hour long video, by the way. Yeah, no, we're not staying here for 4 hours.
The only reason she's DA.
If there was something good and interesting, we'd stay for 4 hours. What are you doing, man? You see what he's doing? Do you see this? Bam, I don't want to see your taco. I don't want to see hers either.
Now. So
you broke the
I learned
taco.
so much from that first case. Why did you put me in jail and you didn't let me see
Lay
a
down,
lawyer?
stupid. Nobody likes you.
And the female holding cell was right in front of the booking station. And why at 6 in the morning with my first arrest, why did the Raymondville Police Department officer show up and tell the jailer, release Vanessa Tijerina? And the jailer was so nosy, saying, well, why? She hasn't been magistrated, because that never happens. You never, ever, you never let somebody, you never release anybody that has
More stories. She tells a lot of stories. She embellishes a lot.
Right?
So,
And since this happened years and years and years and years ago,
it's because she was the
nobody
victim in
cares.
this case.
It's impossible to fact check.
in
She's just gonna say
Texas,
whatever.
do you all call them jailers and magitators?
But you know, and they let me go.
Magistrates.
Yeah.
When
Do you
does
call
that
them that down there?
ever in the United States?
Or is that just, or is she living back in the fucking 1700s?
Oh, he just said magitators.
So,
Oh, bam, that shit was
so
funny.
then the judge was their relative. Y'all, I'm gonna ask you.
Oops.
Have the discussion after I post the live video. Please.
That's because she went live for like 8 hours.
Please, please, please.
Not her
trying to-
longest
What I
one,
learned
though.
from that first case.
I was trying to
taught me
stream it,
so much.
and I think I lost it at about 4 hours. I was like, I had enough of her.
So, thank you, Barbara.
No, I think
what they didn't understand is that
I think
had
I've seen
a
the
really
video,
strange childhood, and I had
don't think I've ever
access
watched
to
a
books
lot.
so much so that I'm the one that taught myself how to read. And I was reading things like Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. Nobody in my hometown really knows about that.
Okay. I heard her say, and I don't know if it's this video. She said in the 3rd grade, that's when she became an activist.
Well, in kindergarten, some kid bit her nipple off.
She did. There's this little white kid who she said, and how it happened, who knows? But she said the kid came over and just bit on her breast and bit her nipple off, that it was hanging, like a lid. Like just.
But she ran home and Grandma sewed it back on.
Now, if a nipple's gonna completely go hang like that, I would imagine you got to chew the shit out of it, chew around it, right, for the thing to flop down.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I don't know because, well, I'm gay, but don't women nipples have like a tube connected to the nipple part so the baby can have milk?
Yeah.
So somebody bites it off, how do you connect the tube back to the nipple?
She makes a lot of this stuff up, and it's we've heard it a bunch of times, a lot of us, but still, it's like, how does she? She has no shame at all.
But the people who know are like, oh, wow. That's assigned college reading material. And you read that in the summer between 2nd and 3rd grade. I did. I had to read it 20 times to understand it, that I read.
December of 2020.
Right?
I'm eating taco shells and the fucking dogs over here.
Another thing about my culture down here is that they laugh at you for everything.
They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
I can't blame them because hurt people hurt people. There's a lot of injustice down here. There's shit that good people and not so good people have been through. And the ones that have been through it, turn out to be not so good people, are the ones that turned into the very monsters that hurt them. And it's unfortunate. Right? And the ones that are good people, and that still happened to, are fortunate enough to not have turned into the monsters that did that to them. Right? So, I didn't like anything that was happening to me.
She's back with that massage parlor, new age music.
So then I went, me and my entire family, my then person, right, my then SP, and my daughters and my sons, and I had to go. Nobody was giving me my evidence. You see, what these people weren't used to, what they didn't understand, is that I love to read. That's my thing.
I know she's been arrested,
and reading, because that's how you get your information.
Oh.
And my observational skills are like out of this world.
All right, you ready, Bam?
Lay it on me.
I'm serious, right?
Hold on.
They were dealing with a person that they were not going to understand. They've never.
I don't think I want to show it because
they've
you know why.
Corrupt shit with a kind of person like me. Plus, I'm a mom. Plus, you did this to me when my baby girl was 9 months old. So
yeah.
I was in all those hormones. I was in a very protective stage. No.
I'm covering that up.
Because when you mess with a mom, then you mess with the happiness of the kids. And a lot of people from my region are going to laugh at what I'm about to say. They are not going to care that literally science stated this. And we all know this now is a fact because it's a scientifically proven fact. The number one outcome of the kind of good quality of life that a child will have is based on one thing.
Oh, Julie, we know.
Only. The happiness of that child's mother.
Go wash your hands, Manny.
All my people from Melissa County were just laughing and laughing and laughing. Didn't go to school, didn't probably finish high school, and if they did, they barely did, and they've never read anything about any of these things, but they're laughing at that. Right? I challenge them to go look it up. Google it. Ask. So.
It's so gross. I actually feel I have to do this.
The prosecutor's not there anymore.
Oh yeah, that was her.
I mentioned to you all is that almost every single person that started, almost every person that has been involved in all these injustices against me, they're nowhere to be found. Only the worst of the worst have stayed. Yeah, and I'll explain that right now. So, I was like, let's get this out of the way. Speedy trial, right? Well, at the municipal court, you don't really need a lawyer, I guess. They were just used to a bunch of people. This is how it works in my hometown. Back then, it was this white man, and right now we have another, a very good gentleman there right now. But back then, they would just make you a day where everybody would just show up from our city. Anybody had a ticket, any kind of municipal thing, any kind of arrest in the city, you're going to show up on this day, you're going to talk to the prosecutor, and they do their stupid...
So somebody asked if she was arrested twice in one day. It's possible. All I know is that she's got a dozen, and all of these arrests were given to her.
Yep, she never earned one of them. They were all given to her
for no reason. Just
Yeah.
because they pulled her off the street. Hey, come here, you're under arrest.
Couldn't be because we were higher than a fucking kite at a Stars restaurant with 2 kids in the car, and we're like, no, I'm not opening my car for you.
That was sad. If you haven't seen that arrest video at the Stars restaurant, Stars is like a sign. Yeah.
And that's the one where she's in a white, red, white, and blue tank top t-shirt.
No, it was like a full stretchy dress all the way to the bottom.
I thought that was the red, white, and blue t-shirt.
Yeah, no, it was a like a flag dress, and went all the way down.
It was a flag something.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was seriously cracked up on something. And they searched her car, and she claimed that it was planted because she doesn't have any kind of drug paraphernalia.
Pipe. They asked her about the crack pipe and found it in her car. And she said, well, it was in my house, and I didn't want it in my house. I didn't want anybody to find it. I didn't want it in the house, so I put it in my car. What sense does that make? Why don't you throw it in the garbage?
Or
trash
set it on the ground and like jump up and down on it.
Smash it. Yeah, step on it and smash it. No, she had to put it in her car to hide it.
Motherfucker, we knew you was smoking that shit. Don't try to lie.
Little bullshit. You don't have a lawyer. You're scared. All that shit, right? All that shit. And I wasn't even going to go into talks and negotiations.
So all this, everything that she's saying right now did not happen. She's just telling a story.
Smoke up everybody's ass.
Yeah, she's telling a story. And
you made me read your Texas criminal code, the Code of Criminal Procedure. I'm very aware of the Michael Morton Act.
Sorry, I know I keep stopping this thing.
And this is why it takes 17 hours to go through one video.
She said she was arrested because the police found out she was going to start law school.
That was her first arrest.
She said that was her first arrest, when clearly it wasn't, because she got arrested for getting into something having to do with her kids, her boys. But she said, they gave me my first arrest. They found out I was going to law school, so they arrested me.
I just like to know how many people actually believe the shit that comes out of her fucking mouth. I mean, literally, shit.
And she never went back to law school. Like, she went to jail, or she got arrested, probably released in a few hours, and she never talks about law school again.
And the Brady Bill. I don't need an attorney. The window for discovery starts at the arrest. This is not a civil suit. This is a criminal matter. Right? So give it to me.
The window of discovery does not start at the arrest.
And give me my court date. They didn't want to
give me my court date. It starts before the arrest warrant is issued.
What they did is what they do, and then I found out later that this is what they do here. This is a pattern in practice. Is that they target you, right? When they're not doing what they're supposed to do and what they took an oath to do. A lot of these officers are no longer here, the really bad ones that used to be here. Thank God. However, they're probably
Cindy,
at
she
a
claims
city
that in every video.
near you. I'm not even lying.
And she is actually a nurse.
These grifters.
But as far as a biologist and a paralegal, she is not.
Officers, for real.
So I believe she did get a biology degree.
The problem with
shut up, did she really?
Yes. I don't think that's disputed.
No matter how bad the thing is you did,
but
their camaraderie towards each other, because it's mostly men.
If you get a biology degree and you don't use it, you don't work in the biology field.
That doesn't happen in nursing.
Then you're not a biologist.
No.
my
You're
opinion,
reported, and the
and I
same
talk to
system that they have
someone
for
almost
nurses,
daily,
I
and she's a
cannot
real
believe that
biologist.
they don't have the same.
She works with
Nurses are not
petri
allowed to
dishes
take
and
lives under any circumstances.
fucking. She's got to wear
Fluids.
a white coat and all that shit. And
We're not allowed to do
there's,
that.
she's got pictures of herself doing
Officers are allowed to take
biologist
lives
things
as long
with
as
other
they feel
people
that
in
they
a
have
biology
those
setting or whatever, a
So I
laboratory.
believe that in an industry
That's a
Laboratory.
the
biologist.
ability to take your life,
Laboratory.
that your
Laboratory.
standards should be
Laboratory.
Because it's boring.
as strict as the Board of Nursing, if not
Kind of like her.
stricter.
Boring.
Right?
And I would never put down anybody in the nursing field.
Yeah.
But if you got your biology degree, wouldn't you go into that field and
Well, I would
make
think it'd
I
pay
may have
more.
some naysayers.
good money? You know, pays a
I
lot
would
more.
pay a
You
lot
can make
more.
a good living.
Get rid of a lot of those right now with this.
Versus
Don't believe me how bad
an
my local
LPN.
police department was.
Or what are they called down there?
There's a lot of officers that got their
The
start
what?
there.
Oh,
What are they called
LVN.
down there?
LVN.
You all
LVNs.
remember? Who can forget? The worst school shooting in Texas history. Robb Elementary. Right?
Marigold, you keep
Remember,
on praying
everybody
for her.
laughed at me because from day
You
one,
keep
I
on.
knew-
Keep it up, girl.
I knew everything that they had done wrong. And all the Blue Lives Matter people were getting mad at me, telling me to shut it up, because they didn't like that somebody that had my reach was saying these things.
Oh, Vanessa's here watching.
How can you be
I'm
a
sure
Blue
she
Lives
is.
Matter person
Oh,
and
yeah,
have a
I'm
problem
almost
with somebody's
positive
First
she is.
Amendment right?
How you doing, girline?
That right there
Hi, Vanessa.
lets me know that there's a problem. So you either back the Constitution or you want to pick and choose. And picking and choosing is not constitutional. So which is it? Right? Unfortunately, and I will always apologize, because you know what? This police station is never going to apologize.
Yeah, she's an
The police
LVN.
department is never going to apologize.
Which there's absolutely
There
nothing
wasn't
wrong with that. I
just
mean,
one
they
criminal that
do a
day
lot
at
of work in
Elementary.
hospitals. They do
As
a lot
we
of
know
good.
now, as we know now, 6 months ago, the public only was, saying that, but now
But this
we
one, I
certainly
think she
know
just
now,
delivers diapers.
Because since that day, I
Diaper
said
delivery service.
that there was 20 criminals there that day.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I did turn it down a little bit. I figured nobody was wanting to listen to her. But if you do want to hear what she's got to say, I'll put it back up.
The shooter
The shoot.
and the 19 officers that just stayed.
Oh, are we
in
on
position.
Uvalde now?
Now we're on
and
Uvalde.
did
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
She was absolutely horrible on Uvalde.
Oh my God, she's crackhead on fiending.
She was on there the same day or the next morning, criticizing police and everything and what they should have done, and they should have done this and they should have done that, and
She's the fucking expert.
she was putting people down, calling people out by names, police officers, other people that were there, and parents, and victims' names, and it's like, what? This just happened. It's like, shut up. Nobody's gonna. This is fresh off a tragedy, and she's already going off. She knew how to handle it. She's telling everybody what they should have done.
And acted like none of them had been trained in post-Columbine active shooter protocol. And they were so bad that they were implementing pre-Columbine active shooter protocol. I'm not even kidding. That's how
Well, I
they
think I'm
justified
gonna bounce. I gotta get up
all
early.
77 minutes that they took. No,
Oh, come on, man. You
we
got
have to get a SWAT
14
team.
more minutes.
No,
15
I'm
more
starting to
minutes.
fall asleep, dude.
After Columbine, the rules are that you don't wait for a SWAT team no more. Even if you're by yourself, you go. Oh, that's right. All you 19 officers cared more about your lives than you did about the people that you were supposed to be protecting. Children. Elementary school children. Mm-hmm.
Vanessa, if you're in here, love you, girling.
Right?
Miss you. like a sore dick on a wedding night.
Not only did they not go in, they didn't approach the door.
Tell Vanessa good night, babe.
Not only did they not go
Good
in,
night, crazy
the
tit
shooter
lady.
was so mad.
She does have crazy tits. If y'all ain't seen them, she'll show them to you. Just
'Cause
watch
he
her.
grew up.
Watch her
He
enough.
was 20
Go to
years
her
old,
lives.
18,
She'll show you
19, I don't know
tits
what he was
and
doing.
ass
But he grew
and
up.
taco.
His generation grew up.
And you don't even have to
being
join her
prepared.
OnlyFarms. She does it
Mine-
for
mine
free on
didn't.
Facebook.
His did. They grew up being prepared for
Only
active
farms?
shooter program.
No, that's funny shit.
So when you went
No.
your whole life
Gotta look
from,
out for
from kindergarten all
I
the
mean,
way,
she'll
you
give
know,
you the.
he knew what the police
All right,
were
y'all.
supposed
Have
to
a good
do.
night. I'll see you later.
What he
Hasta
didn't
luego.
count on, what the county of Uvalde, what the parents of the victims, what the rest of the United States didn't count on, including all the officers that agreed with me because they knew their training.
And I don't mind
And they
hearing
spoke
the
up.
rest of
They
this,
didn't
but
give a
I don't want to
shit
hear about
the
Uvalde.
thing
Do you guys
being
mind if I
honest,
skip
right?
forward a
Because
little
these
bit?
were teachers and students.
It's only, where are we at? It's only 3 more hours to go.
So, before recently, the district attorney finally indicted the school chief of police on somebody else. Ma'am, my guess is that she didn't want to anger too many families that were her voters, because she cared more about her personal best interest than she cared about seeking justice. Because every single one of those officers was trained
I don't think I can speed it
just
up
the same
from
way as the two
the
that
way
shared.
that I'm doing this right here.
Yeah, the whole time it was that long rifle to even try to shoot at the shooter through the window. All the kids are on the ground. You're not an officer, Vanessa. I don't need to be an officer. That's common sense. If the person killing people is the only one that's standing up, why isn't anybody taking a shot at him? Right? Remember, these are the same police officers that lied to you, the ones that were like, we're searching for the key to the room. It was never locked.
I think.
Mm-mm.
No, the way I'm doing it here, I'm using StreamYard, so
These
let me see.
didn't even try the door. No. That's why the shooter was saying, what the fuck are you doing? Get over here. Come here. And yes, everybody was blaming the shooter, but let me tell you something.
No, I can't speed it. I'm gonna have to just skip.
That shooter's brain was nowhere being developed. Why do you think the majority of school shooters to say that I was buying? How did you come up with that answer? I've been doing this for 30 years and no one has ever answered that.
Oh, you got to hear this. I heard this
Advantage
part.
of the Willacy County filing system.
Okay. So a judge ordered a psychological evaluation on her to be done. And you got to hear this. She's never made it public. She said it was sealed. And she never showed it. She kind of showed one little section of it. I think she did, but there was nothing revealing on it. And real quick, Uvalde, she said if the police would have arrived and would have done something, they could have saved so many lives. That is not true. Bam and I went, and we have the video on that page on YouTube. When the Department of Justice released the video, there was surveillance video across the street. We timed the whole thing from the time he crashed the truck jumped the fence, got into the parking lot, walked across the parking lot, shot at the school. And then he went inside, and an educated opinion says he did most of the damage, meaning he killed all those people within the first 5 minutes, or like 4 minutes and something, almost 5 minutes. Damage was done. They were mostly all dead. There were a couple that were shot. They were bleeding out probably. Even the little girl made a phone call. And, maybe a few could have been saved. But those bullets just destroyed everything that they hit. So to say that if they would have, after 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it was, when they finally showed up, if they would have rushed the room and shot him, it wouldn't have mattered. The damage was 95% done. Anyway, her psychological evaluation ordered by a judge.
It is not up to date like the other two counties. Cameron County, Hidalgo County, everything is electronic. Willacy County is not. So if you want to backdate a summary judgment, you can. Oh, I signed this before she made the complaint on me. Because what a coincidence that he decided to get off all my cases after I submit that to his mandating agency, the State of Texas Judicial Commission. Get this man off my cases. Look at all the shit he's done to me. This is wrong. Judges in Texas only have 10 rules to follow, and he's broken almost every single one of them with me. I'm in perilous danger. So you know that it was only last week when I got a printout of all of the events. Did you know that district court judge's ego, everything that I'm telling you right now, was validated? Because I looked, and all of a sudden I said, oh, what's that? You didn't choose to get off my cases, liar. Why didn't you tell my lawyer the truth? Your bosses assigned another judge to the case. Your bosses said you will no longer have anything to do with Vanessa Tijerina's cases. It's on the events of all of my cases. Literally right there telling the truth. It says the name of his boss, the judge of the 5th Administrative Region, and it says right there, taking him off of everything. It wasn't his choice.
Yeah, and it's coming.
And the thing is, by the time that we had gotten there, he had already, 3 years before that, ordered a full psychological evaluation on me. Let's go. I love trivia and I love puzzles. I love anything that challenges me. I love that shit. I just do. Let's go. And he chose the psychologist. Okay.
You gotta hear this.
Bet. So for 3 days I went and I took all these tests. And I astounded even the psychologist.
Can you imagine? Actually, I don't know. But a psychological evaluation that lasts for 3 days. What's up with that? What is up with that?
I'm not even kidding. How did you come up with that answer? I've been doing this for 30 years and no one has ever answered that. And I'm like, well, like this. How did you do that so fast? I've been doing this for 30 years and no one has ever done that fast. I love puzzles and I pick up on patterns really quick because I have autism. So, that same district court judge, right? He never brought up that psychological evaluation ever again. In fact, he sealed it. Why?
Okay. If you had, any one of you guys, a stellar psychological evaluation, and it said on the evaluation, Vanessa is brilliant. She's a genius. I can't believe. Wouldn't you be showing that to everybody and their mother? Wouldn't you go, yeah, you know what? I am going to show it. Here it is. Look at what it says. Knowing the way she is, I say that's what would have happened. Why wouldn't you want to show a stellar evaluation and kind of shut people up? Why wouldn't you? But no, never did. You just hear a lot of this.
Why? Even my lawyer at the time called me to apologize for how they had treated me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that happened.
Because that paper proved that I'm the opposite of what the district attorney wants everybody to believe that I am, of what all the hate wants everybody to believe I am, of what all the assistant district attorneys that she gets to get on my cases because she's not smart enough to handle a case against me.
So one more thing before I ask you all a question. She is self-diagnosing herself. She has never been diagnosed by any medical professional ever. She just tells everybody that she has autism. She is autistic. She has ADHD, and she might have that. But she tells everybody anybody who will listen to her that she has autism. Who else does that? I've never heard anyone or seen on video or on TV shows or documentaries or TLC channel. People just go out and tell everybody, oh, I have autism. Remember that scam she tried to pull at or she did at Starbucks? Something was wrong. She complained. And the guy said, oh, we can just put it back on your app. We'll send you your credit that way. Well, I don't use that. I have autism. I don't like things like that. So she doesn't like things like her phone. She doesn't use these things. Yet she goes live 3 times a day or sometimes 4 for hours at a time, all day, every day from this. The other thing I want to ask you guys, I know I keep stopping it to comment. Would you rather I not do that or just lower the volume or not stop it? I know it can get annoying. I understand. So should I stop it? Should I just talk over it? Or, I don't know. It varies. I'm trying not to annoy you.
On her own. And that judge didn't like that paper proved that when I'm standing in the room with you, I'm the smartest one in the room. Whose fault is that?
Smartest one in the room with 12
What I
arrests.
was doing, just trying to get justice for my kids. And I decided to run for office because of all the injustices that you were doing to me. And the loudest, strongest way for anybody to put a spotlight on themselves is to enter politics. And that's exactly what I did.
Tried to do, but she never got elected to anything.
You should erase your comments. I saw somebody erase their comments. They are so mad. The people that don't like me, they are angry right now because I haven't said nothing that hasn't made any sense. Nothing.
Oh, thank you, Dina.
What that psychological and I love that psychological evaluation because
Dina,
that is
longtime
one of the
friend of the
things that
show.
I'm sending in my binder to the United States Department of Justice, and they're all underestimating me.
She's not going to send anything to anybody.
This is one of those things that I don't have to move in silence about, because honestly, I've been saying this shit since 8 years ago. And my town knows it. My town knows it.
Oh my God. See this comment? She was going to go somewhere one day. Remember? She was going to go get coffee or something, or I think she was going to go get coffee. She was at home. And then, oh, my hair is all messed up. I don't have a scrunchie. I can't find a. And she said she was using the Pamela Anderson trick. And I was like, went to the floor. She got some old panties. I don't know how dirty or how old they were. And she put that up in her hair and she used that as a scrunchie. True story. Some of you guys have saw that when that happened. And she went to wherever she went with panties that were on the floor, and she tied them up around her hair. Scrunchie, right? That's what you called a scrunchie. That's a true story. We saw it happen. If it wasn't for us seeing it happen, we wouldn't believe it.
They know it. But the thing is that the arrest kept coming. And so the binder was never finished.
Thanks, Christy.
Right? It was never ever finished. Because it kept happening. The story wasn't ending. Alright. So.
Oh, let me add. You know that I told you she did a video for like 8 hours. She never got up to use the bathroom. She never got up from that chair. And they said, you know what? Hold on. I got to take a pee break. 8 hours. Can you do that? I mean, I don't have to go every 5 minutes, but I think 4 hours, somewhere around there, is like you have to go. And if you don't have to go in 8 hours for any kind of function in the bathroom, then something's wrong. So that's when the whole talk about she must be wearing Depend or diapers or something, because that's a long time not to get up. True story. And that's how the Depends and the diaper. If you're wearing a diaper in the car, she'd be in the car all freaking day long from daylight out. And the next thing you know, it's nighttime. She's parked in her driveway. Never goes to use the bathroom. What's up with that? What's up with that?
That's the first thing that I'm going to put. Because I need the U.S. Department of Justice to know. Here's my proof right here. Of the type of mind I am. And the 3 strongest points that was the outcome of this.
What's in the cup, guys?
Evaluation.
Wrong answers only. What's in the cup?
She's smart as hell, and her processing speed is just crazy good. 2, she has no mental illness, nothing. Not nothing. 3, all of the problems that she's in her life are external, not internal. In other words,
that's funny now.
The problems that she's in her life were created by outside forces that are forcing her to now deal with the circumstances. Versus, had they been internal, they were choices that she made herself that caused her to be in those circumstances. Thank you, God, for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God knew what he was doing when he had that cocky ass district court judge, act that way, right? But he got his lick back. He did. He got his lick back. People who know anything about family court judges, family court lawyers, ad litems, all of them. You never do what's been done to me. That never happens. It's unheard of. But that's part of my story. I don't really talk about that aspect. And I let a lot of people talk a lot of shit. Because I know that I'm going to shut them up, in a few years.
She does a fair share of talking shit herself, by the way.
But one thing I can say is that everybody knows you never decide custody with a summary judgment. That's bullshit. So, with that first arrest, I learned this. What they didn't understand also was that I was already an advocate. I had read Title 1, Title 2, and Title 3 of the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. All of it. Why did I read it? Because both of my sons have ADHD. Why does it matter? Well, because if they're in special education, until they graduate, FAPE, the Free and Appropriate Private Education Act, is their Bible. That is the thing that mandates special education, right? But that ends when you finish high school.
Private part here? You think that's what that is?
You have it through all of your kindergarten and all of your elementary and all of your high school. People don't really use that, though.
Yeah, I can see
But all the rights that you have as an adult.
It's like right up here.
Because your Bible, as an adult, with a person with a disability, whether it's physical or non-physical.
See it?
Whether it's mental illness or you're just a neurodivergent.
You had to put that thought in my head.
You process things differently, and you have to understand information in a different way. Right? You are still protected under Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. That is your Bible now. You no longer have the Special Ed Act. You are now out of school, and that is your Bible until you breathe your last breath. That is your protection. That is the thing that will allow you to request accommodations in any governmental agency, any governmental entity in the United States. And unfortunately, there's a limit to the private places that are mandated to follow accommodation requests by the ADA. A business has to have 50 or more employees. If they don't, then they are not mandated to do anything when you ask for a accommodation under Title II, right? So, they weren't giving me a court date, and I'm like, you're not going to do... what I found out was that for years they had been arresting people.
Yeah, where's Chris?
And these people were just... they wouldn't say anything. They didn't say anything about it. They were just like, okay, I'm not going to have a court date, and so I'm not going to complain about it because I'm not in jail. So we're just going to pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah, she's got 2 boys
Not
and 2
me.
girls.
Not me, because the Board of Nursing is waiting for me to prove myself. I'm mandated by the Texas Occupations Code. No. Plus, even if I wasn't a nurse, I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD and I have autism. What does that mean? That means when I'm right and I know that I'm right, and when I've read your playbook and I know what you're supposed to do and I know how you're violating it, and I know both your playbook and my playbook, and then I know all the avenues that I can take to force you to do the right thing, abso-fucking-lutely I'm gonna do that.
Thanks, Lola.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the thing is that you can't make a complaint yet until you're able to prove that you went through all the steps before. So that's exactly what I did. And I already knew that because I had already been helping families understand how to implement faith.
Okay, these are some of your responses to what's in the cup. What's she drinking? Booze, water,
right. So,
air. Well, she doesn't pee. Maybe Yvonne's right.
Literally just like ignoring me.
Or she got a diaper on.
Like
booze.
And I
Marcy,
that's like, do you all, like, is it so corrupt that you all really do think that you're gonna get away with this shit?
That's nasty.
Is it because you have a
Metamucil?
law degree and you're a city lawyer? Is it because you're a city commissioner?
I don't even know what that
I don't
is.
know what the fuck. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But I have what mandates you, and what are my rights, and on top of that, I have the Constitution. Right?
Coffee?
So I was like, I want my evidence.
And it's in a styrofoam cup.
You're not giving me a court date, so I started to go to the city meetings. And I told them, you're not giving me a court date, and I want a court date because that's stopping my right. That's violating my due process for a speedy trial. I'm not just going to forget about this shit. No. We're going to have a trial. I haven't decided if I'm going to choose a judge or a jury. But this shit's not just going to be forgotten about. I'm going to prove myself. So one of two things is going to happen. We're going to have a trial before a judge or a jury, or you're going to dismiss the case. We all know you're not going to dismiss the case. We all know that because you're not very smart and you probably should have, right? So they wouldn't give me a court date. Okay, all right.
Haterade, that's good.
So I went to the next city meeting. And I reminded them. And I made sure to look straight at the city attorney because he was the only one with a law degree. Right there. And I said, and I had everything ready, and I said, look, you're violating my rights with the Brady Bill. And on top of that, you're violating my rights with the Michael Morton Act. Both of which state that with or without a lawyer, I have the right to my evidence.
Marcy's right.
And the window for discovery, evidence is also called AKA discovery. There's different levels of discovery in like a civil case.
Like I haven't done I want to do an IQ test.
But in a criminal case?
But if my score was like 105, 120, I'd be like,
for you to be able to start asking for your evidence against you
125
upon your arrest.
That's me. That's what I would do.
People can do what they did to me just this week. They can arrest you and let it go on and on and on and on, and they'll just wait. Just wait. So I told them this.
Oh, I want a cranberry, vodka cranberry so bad.
Do I have my right as a defendant to get this without a lawyer? I don't want to be charged for it. Because by law,
hello,
it
California.
states that if you're pro se, I'm not pro se yet.
She's not pro se ever.
I'm not deciding that I'm going to be my own lawyer. I'm an American who is protected by Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. They didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. They thought it was a joke. Yes, they did.
If she was going to represent herself ever, I hope there's a video camera in that room because I would love to see that. I'll go to that. I'll take a vacation day and I'll go see that. That's got to be hilarious.
Yeah, they don't. They thought it was a joke. And I had to show them the power of what they were laughing at. And I did. So, no, I'm not pro se, and I understand.
Yeah, that's true, KK. Remember? So for some reason, she took a trip to California, somewhere outside of San Francisco. Remember this? Now, she claims it was for a book deal that would have changed her life. But then she said she didn't take it. She didn't accept it because she didn't have full control or something. Or I don't know. Some dumb lie. You know it's a lie. And she gets to the airport, and she says she needs a wheelchair to get to her gate. That she could not even walk. I don't know what disability. Well, she doesn't have to. When you have a disability, they can't ask you, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" You can never ask that. So they had this lady push her in a wheelchair. And she sat there being ridden around, and she's there. Obviously, she can walk. And I know, big airport, you're going to walk a lot, but so what? That's why you get there early to get to your gate on time. That really annoyed me because like Kay says, KK, I hate when people claim a disability. They really don't have one, but they're claiming it. And see, that's not cool. And then she almost misses her flight because they were calling her, but she was live on her phone and she didn't pay attention to the gate agent, what he was saying. And then she goes up to the gate and he says, well, you were on your phone. You weren't paying attention. And he told her, you weren't paying attention. That was so funny.
The clause.
And she left it live and we heard all that stuff.
The clause under...
I'm going to skip a little bit here.
Can't do that. You have to rewrite it. No, dude. Especially in their own municipality.
Yeah, I'm going to skip a little more.
Do not do that. You accept a recusal. You do not do anything that he said. Everything that he said was wrong. He's lucky I didn't report him to the... He's lucky I did not report him there. He's lucky. To the Judicial Commission. He's lucky. So... They said, just send it to us by email. Okay. 5 minutes later. Miss Tijerina? Mm-hmm. Go over there and get your copy. Thank you. Thank you. And he was no longer there. No, you ain't gonna show me your face, are you? Because 10 minutes ago, you just gave me a whole spiel of you obstructing justice, lying to me. What you don't know is that I recorded you, right? But even without you knowing that I recorded you, that's how foolish you felt, that you had a little secretary handle it for you. So I'm gonna go in there proud as fuck of myself. And I go to the little window and I'm like, give me my copy now. Yes, ma'am. And she gives me my copy.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened.
And I told her, I know you're just...
I'm going to retitle this the name of tonight's show.
But if I were you, this should be a lesson. He's not going to protect you if he is behaving that way. Not against somebody like me. No. Because if you allow that to happen, you took an oath yourself. If you allow that to happen, and you're a mandated reporter. Just the way that a nurse is. You're a mandated reporter. You cannot see certain officials doing certain things and you not report them, because then you become part of the problem because you refuse to report them, and then you will find yourself in front of an administrative judge explaining why you did not report when you were a mandated reporter. Thank you. So he had two options. A judge can say, you know what, I don't want to get... He can say, you know what, I will get off the case. Bye. It's over. Assign another judge. Or you can say, you dig your heels in and say, no, I want to stay on the case. In that case, they bring in a visiting court judge and they decide. Should you get off the case? No, he knew. Because he knew that when we had that hearing, if he contested it, I'm going to be like, you're married to this one? Who's her niece? Look out here.
See, she's a big tough guy in all these stories that she tells. these tall tales of things that never happened. She should write a book. She should write a book of fairy tales. And she should call it what I told you. Things That Never Happened by Vanessa Tejeda. That would be an accurate title of her book, by the way.
Get on her. It says 2 degrees of consanguinity. 2 degrees of blood relation. Fuck out of here. So he knew. And
because some of these people, like I'm going to use Kamala Harris. You talk to certain people or a certain crowd, and for some reason, a whole other kind of accent or way of speaking comes out. In her case, she's got like a bunch of different personalities, a lot of different accents or dialects come out, and this is one. And it's funny because if you watch her for a long time, you've heard, a dozen of them.
so he recused himself. This whole time I thought that this is a municipal court. It's the lowest court. Well, you have your Supreme Court and all that, right? The appeals court and all that. But then you have your district court. Then you have your county court. And then you have 2 courts that are at the same level, which is your JPs and your municipal court. All right? Those are at the same level. This whole time I thought that they were just going to get another municipal court judge. The universe. No! They sent me Judge Gabbard. 30 years on the bench. 30 years as not a municipal court judge. Not a judge.
So her food stamp fraud case, her attorney requested a motion to dismiss, saying, it's taking too long. And it has been. It's been years. And the judge said, case dismissed. So the district attorney who dropped the ball, huge, big time, the district attorney filed a motion to appeal. She's appealing the dropping of the case, dismissing of the case. The judge has not ruled on that yet. That's what's pending right now. If I'm not mistaken, somebody who knows can correct me. That's where we are right now. If the district attorney wins the appeal, then they'll set another court date and they'll prosecute. Have a court date. If they refuse and they deny the motion to appeal, then the district attorney will have to re-indict. That means another arrest for Vanessa. And the DA said she'll re-indict. So much time has gone by. I don't know how many months have gone by. Nothing has happened. The DA, it never went to court. I mean, there was a lot of delays initially from this one. But most recently, there were a lot of delays requested by the DA herself. They dropped the ball. She didn't have her shit together. And that's why this thing may go nowhere. More than $75,000 food stamp fraud. And right now, nothing will happen. How do you like them apples?
Not a county judge. A district court judge. A district court judge is going to hear my case with 30 years of experience. Yes. All right. And then I got J.R. Garza, who had already dealt with the corruption here in Wilson County. So let's do this. I finally get my court date. Finally. Oh, the FBI goes in there, and I think that same day they had a city meeting. And I'm like, not only did you violate these rights, you are this many days past the due date for the Brady bill and the Michael Morton Act. Tell me why they had the corporal come. That city meeting was like 5 or 6 o'clock. At 9 o'clock. Who is knocking at my door at 9 o'clock? Hi, this is Corporal so-and-so. I came with all your evidence.
Christy, if you're watching, hold on. I'm going to send it to you.
Everything. How much do I have to pay? Nothing. Why did they go that night? Because they didn't want one more day to pass to be added on. And I said, I have PTSD because of y'all. Give it to me through the window. Thank you. Yeah. Remember, this is just a small portion of my true autobiography. This is just a little piece of it. Right? This was my first arrest. You think they would have learned? You think they would have learned? So, I have a district court judge. And as a district court judge, you must be a lawyer. So he was a lawyer for a long time. He was 80 years old. And I love what he said on the third day of trial. He wasn't going to listen to these officers. That's a 30-year, that's a lawyer, first of all. A non-corrupt lawyer from Starr County. That's a district court judge for 30 years. That man is smarter than anybody in this courtroom. And you think that as a unit, as a police law enforcement agency, that you're gonna fool him. When I saw that it was him, I said, we don't need a jury. It's okay, we don't need a jury. Because I had insisted on a jury. But when I saw that it was Judge Gabbert, and I did my research, and he's a lawyer, and he's been doing this district court, being a district court judge for 30 years, I was like, no jury. I just need one person to be convinced. Let's do this. So we did this for 3 days, right? For 3 days. And the victim gave her fake teary-eyed testimony. None of that. You are an unsophisticated bully from your generation in a town of Raymondville. You may have gone your whole life doing this kind of shit to regular citizens, but who do you think you are trying to pull this shit on a 30-year district court judge?
Yeah, she talks a big game. You know, I was there in court. I went to court once. She didn't see me. And the way she made it sound is not what happened. That's how I knew all this crap she said what happened in court. None of that ever happened. None of this ever happened.
Oh, you think you have these little law enforcement officers backing you up? We'll see. I already knew what was going to happen.
That's absolutely true, Jennifer.
So on the third day, this is exactly what he said, and I love him for it. He said, you know, at first I was annoyed because I never get assigned to municipal court cases. And I was like, I'm going to have to drive from Starr County all the way to Willacy County, which is a long way.
I believe there is a statute of limitations. Their complaint was that she was not getting a fair and speedy trial. That it was just dragging on forever. Most of that delay causing was from her side. You know, and I know she brags about, oh, I want to go to court. I want to tell my story. I want to go to court, and I want to go to court, and I want a jury to hear this, and I want a judge to hear that, or I want the jury to hear this, and I want to go to court. But she doesn't want to go to court because she will get convicted. And she knows that. That's why it pisses a lot of people off when she's so smug about the legal system, and she insults them a lot and says a lot of shitty things about lawyers and judges and police officers, and that's not a good move, especially if you have to go to court a lot. But remember, she's a genius.
For a little municipal court case. That, I'm going to love that, because that's going to be that's the first arrest. Everything's going to be in chronological order. That's going to be the first case on my binder. Look, U.S. Department of Justice, look at what this district court judge said about this police department that arrested me after this, and also failed to get pertinent, needed information to find out who was truly behind my torture and beating. BTW. Okay. Back to my court case. So I'm there, and he says, at first I was a little annoyed that as a district court judge, I was going to have to oversee a municipal court case. But after sitting here for 3 days, I can honestly say that in my 30 years as a judge, I have learned more with this case. I want the Department of Justice to just see that from the jump.
And I say this respectfully because I like Donald Trump. I know he's a showman. He's a TV guy. He's a celebrity. He's got a big head and all that. I get it. But she's very Trump-ish. You know what I mean? Everybody she's ever talked to, nobody has ever seen anything like her. Nobody has ever experienced anything like what she said. She's the most prosecuted woman in the entire planet. You know, and and when she says stuff like that, I keep thinking about Trump's. It's always on my mind when he goes in millions and millions and millions and millions and billions and billions. And I find that funny. And I hear a lot of that in her. She's the most this. She's the most that. This psychologist said this. That judge said this. Yet there's no record of anybody saying any of that. Because there's no way to check. I suppose you can get the court documents, the transcripts. If he said that, you know, without, while the lady was allowed or the guy was allowed to type it up. But nobody has ever heard this stuff but her.
It's just the beginning. That's just the first arrest, sir. Department of Justice people. In my 30 years, this is when he was rendering his verdict. In my 30 years, I have not learned more from a case than from this one. It looks, and I quote, and I knew it, but they still didn't learn. They wanted to still keep arresting me. This is how not smart they are. He said, it looks like these all this looks like is that these police officers, you won't like that, did whatever this lady, and he pointed to the older bully, the mother of my son's bully, It looks like these police officers and the chief of police was there just as red as a beet. These police officers did whatever this lady wanted them to do to this defendant. Not guilty. To all of you. To all of you. So they were going to get their lick back. You would think, but these are not the brightest bulbs. These are not the sharpest knives. These are not the brightest crayons.
That's right. That day she got beat up. They took her to the doctor, to the ER. And she claims this. The doctor in the ER said in all his years of practicing medicine in the ER, he has never seen anyone so beaten up like I was. She said that. And that's exactly what we're talking about. And it's so that already.
This is a culture of corruption that gave rise to a DPS trooper that was eventually fired whenever they were like, we gave you the option to resign. You didn't. We did our investigation and we deemed that we don't want you to be a trooper no more. Get the fuck out of here. You're fired.
I'm sure that's what happened.
You gave up your ability to resign, so you're fired. Because you did bad shit. You fell below your standards. And you were the highest ranking officer in that hallway. Fuck out of here. Right? You would think that they would have learned. Okay, don't do this shit to me no more. Don't do this shit to me no more.
Please.
Because every single case is going to wind up like this. Every single case. All right? You do not know who you are getting yourself involved in. You've never known in your careers of a citizen that will wield democracy to such a degree that you will be scared.
Oh, God.
And when you are an official that is afraid of democracy, that means you're corrupt.
You know, I can't roll my eyes that far back into my head because I'll get stuck. I'm afraid of that. The great Vanessa.
Because nobody that's doing what they took an oath to do.
You know who else she reminds me of? What was the guy's name? If I can't find it real quick. What was the name of the publisher, the book publisher that Elaine on Seinfeld worked for? Remember him? Oh man, what was his name? Mr. I'm not gonna find it right now. Somebody put it up here. Remember the guy? It was a catalog, and he would go to all over the world traveling, and he would find these, hats in Peru or a vest with all these pockets, and he would write all these fancy description. Not Lipman. It's not Lipman. Different name. Peterman? Mr. Peterman? Peter? I can't remember. Anyway, that's who she reminds me of too. Mr. Pitt was the older man, the older guy. Mr. Pitt was the older man. This was the guy who looks like I think he got white hair, gray salt pepper hair. I don't know. I'll look for it.
Nobody that is obstructing justice is afraid of democracy. In fact, they welcome it. Right? Well, needless to say, they just didn't know what to do. That's right. Right. So I learned so much from that case. I learned so much, right? And since then, we've had a lot of cases, right? We've had a lot of cases. So remember back last October, I did a live video letting y'all know they tried to get me to do a plea deal. And they tried to get my lawyers, they tried to divide, you see, this district attorney, let me start over. Every police officer that has ever been involved in any of the bullshit and the injustices that have been done to me are no longer employed at those law enforcement agencies. Do you really think that that's a coincidence? They skedaddled real quick out of there.
Is it him, Richard
Let me tell you
Fancy?
something else.
Mr.
There is
Lipman?
a high turnover rate, which is part of my binder to the U.S. Department of Justice. Because
Yeah,
when
sure
you have a law enforcement
No,
agency
that's not
that
him.
has
Not
a high
Mr. Lipman.
turnaround rate of, hey,
Before
I'm a new
Mr.
officer, I came over here to work, I don't want to work here no more, bye.
Peterman, maybe?
That
Who was
reminds
the guy
me of
with the catalog?
Serpico. The movie with Al Pacino is based on a true story. They made they made Serpico's life a living hell whenever he was like, look, if you're gonna do corrupt shit on me and shit, I don't want to do it. I became an officer to abide by the law. You know, I'm not gonna say anything, but they were so scared because they were doing really bad shit as officers in New York City before the reform happened. That was catalyzed by Serpico blowing the whistle on them. Right? But in a small town, you don't do that. Because they will go after you. They will bring up stupid charges and do all the shit they did to me. They will do that to you as a police officer. Do you know how many I've spoken to that have worked at the Raymondville PD over the years and have told me their stories? In my binder, it will go. Y'all, they've already made comments, and let me just screen record this. 1 second. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just pay attention to me. This is now being screen recorded.
Mr. Peterman, right? That was the guy.
So when you post a comment, right, you better bet your ass that if I want to use that as content, I'm going to. All I have to do is just slow the video down.
Thank you. Yes, the Peterman
And
guy.
even if you had it up for 2 seconds, it will now be up indefinitely. No, 10 minutes if I wanted to. Okay? I'm telling you, I'm not just some, I'm not just any person just doing a live video on social media. This is my element. I've survived smarter, stronger, more powerful.
If this was the first arrest, she's talking about the parent of the bully kid
Once again,
allegedly accused Vanessa of assault
you asked for it.
when she confronted her. I don't know what happened. I don't know the details.
Try to offend me? My defense, God made me so that my defense is always stronger than anything in the world that could possibly offend me, to such a degree that the person or entity or agency that tries to offend me,
No way.
winds up feeling violated with my defense.
Hey, Denise, been a long time. Hope you're doing good. That's cool. You going to the White House. That's
I
freaking
don't know what to
awesome.
tell you. Whose fault is that? Right? Now. So before I get to this, what happened on Wednesday, let me tell you this. That's a red flag when you have a law enforcement agency, because that means, and I've spoken to some of them, why did you leave? Because they had no choice. They were either asking me to do some stupid shit or to overlook some shit that an officer was doing that they weren't supposed to be doing. They weren't following protocol. They weren't. I remember when I was running for U.S. District 15 for the first time, right, for U.S. Rep, and it was the Ed Couch, Elsa, and the Mercedes, Ed Couch, Elsa Yellow Jackets, and the Mercedes Tigers rivalry game, and it happened to be Mercedes, I believe, homecoming.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
And so I was allowed on the field,
mom,
right? And this was in 2016. So when all the crowd dispersed and everything was over, the security were officers, and they all came up to me, and they had all worked at one point at the Raymondville Police Department. You know what they told me?
What did they tell you?
They told me this, and I did exactly this, because I already knew I was going to do it. They said, the person that you need to get out is Bernard Ammerman. Oh, don't worry, he's next on my list. That's a district attorney. Yeah. And I did.
And I swear, she can connect all her stories.
But all that's going to be, including him saying, I'm not Walmart.
8 degrees of Vanessa
Well, how long are you going to not help me and my family? Forever.
I'm going to skip some of
this.
this.
Have to vote you out? Then you.
Let's move along a little bit. Let's see.
People had to come out one woman. Department of Justice. Some people would consider that a hate crime because you did it to a woman. You did it to a woman, and you did it every single time after she what? After she exercised a constitutionally protected right. Foolish people. Right? So, tell me why last October, right?
And you know, she's making shit up because she always goes, right? Actually, when her lips are moving, I mean, she's lying, but you know.
That you see, Annette Hinojosa, what they've been doing with all of my lawyers, they've tried, and there's been a few lawyers that are like, well,
that's the DA,
right?
Annette.
You would think that a district attorney will only, you're only going to use the means to win a case or to beat a defendant. That's not seeking justice. The shit that you've done outside of the courtroom is not seeking justice. No, that's not seeking justice. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Trying to get my lawyers mad at me last October. And let me tell you why. Because there's a piece of information that the public has never seen regarding one of my cases.
And what is that? More magical evidence that just appears that never appears.
You never see people in that position of power caught on video doing that in the United States. I don't think it's ever been seen before like that.
Never in the history of the world has that ever been captured on video before.
You all have never seen it. No, it's not the video that you think you've already seen on the internet. No. It's a different video. So, tell me why the assistant district attorney, right, speaks to my lawyer, and my lawyer tells him, well, we got this. And they're like, because it's terrible. They should be prosecuted for that.
Right.
All that's going to the U.S. Department of Justice. And the thing is, that as soon as that assistant district attorney, and she's a good person and I understand, you know, I get it. As soon as she knew what was happening, like all of them, as soon as they know what they're doing to me, they don't want to have anything to do with it. They always leave. They never stay. They never, ever stay.
You know, that's kind of true. A lot of people, once they hear the name Vanessa Tijerina, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll pass. All right. You know, I'm busy. I'm busy that day.
Annette, you can think all you want that she happened to get COVID. You can think all that shit. That your assistant district attorneys do not stay because they are doing something wrong by not reporting you. And instead of doing the right thing, which they should, they would rather just leave. Like the officers that leave the law enforcement agency. Right? So, this right here is, you see, when you're a lawyer in Texas, you have to follow a professional code. And in that professional code, when you become a district attorney or an assistant district attorney, a prosecutor.
And that's not just Texas, by the way. When you enter the legal workforce, you have to follow a code of conduct and all that good stuff. Not just Texas.
There are special rules now, in addition to those rules that apply to you because of your position as a prosecutor. One of them is that you do not go forward on a case where officials did that.
Vanessa is such a legal expert. It's incredible. Why isn't she a lawyer? She knows it all. She knows everything. I should say she thinks she knows everything. Vanessa, what you don't know could fill a book. I mean, an actual book.
So, tell me why the next time we had a court date, right after that, she retaliates. And this time she says, well, you had that. Well, I have 2 indictments, pending indictments on her. And I'll drop them if she takes a plea deal. You can fuck off right on off with that. I'm being serious. Yes. Because this is the way my cases are all going to go. Right? You are either going to dismiss them or the facts are going to be argued before a jury. That's it. I've said it from the beginning. That's all that's going to happen. Okay? That's it. Yes, ma'am. Right? So, tell me why in October when we meet again, they're like, we have 2 indictments, and if she takes a plea deal, we'll make it all go away. First of all, I don't take no plea deals because I know I didn't do none of this shit. And then she gets my lawyers, mad at me and says that she has a witness that will go before a grand jury to accuse me of witness intimidation. Okay, the shit that you're trying to say is witness intimidation is not, first of all. And B, why did you fail to tell my lawyers that your star witness is a convicted felon that has a current warrant for not showing up to her probation in Hidalgo County? Why didn't you tell my lawyers that? Oh, that's right.
This is a good question because she has a different attorney now.
fucking bluffing because you're not supposed
And these
to
people
use
do ask her
witnesses
retainers
to indict a
and
person.
a couple
And that
$100 an
witness
hour
is a
at the
felon.
cheapest. How does she do it?
So that's
How is that possible? So there's been a theory that she's a witness, she's a snitch. And that's why all these things never come to fruition. Thought about that before. That she's a snitch. She works for somebody. And in exchange for her, whatever she's doing, they overlook a lot of things. But I believe that. I don't know. I'm starting to believe it. I think she made a deal with some kind of devil, because these things just don't just happen, or something is. I mean, could the district attorney be that incompetent? I mean, red-handed, $75,000 food stamp fraud. That just tells everybody, yeah, come to Texas, commit fraud over here. Food stamp fraud. Something is up. I mean, she's an LVN. I know 24 years, she says, or whatever it is. With a drug habit. She's not, breaking the bank, right? I mean, seriously.
So by doing that, she was trying to get rid of all the cases so that somehow the world would not know everything that was done to me.
Okay, so they made a plea deal. They gave her they made her an offer that they will get rid of everything if she pleads to it. I think they even said no jail time, but the conviction would be there. A felony. But everything would be gone. Everything that was pending that they were dealing with, they were going to wipe it out. What would you do? What would you do? Well, we all know she turned it down, but let's hear her tell her tale.
Right? And then trying to intimidate me and said, and she has that DWI from November that we're going to, which DWI? The one where I was on my way to the police station and somebody hit my car and I called the dispatcher and I said, I'm going to be late. Somebody hit my car. And she was like, do you want me to call an officer for you? And I said, you know what? Yes, please. So I can make the crash report and I can go on my merry way to go make the report on the man who gave me a death threat. Now tell me, if I was not sober, why the 911 calls from that night are not going to show everything I just said. And my phone bill is not going to show where I called 911 and the dispatcher for the last 4 hours before that happened to make sure that an officer was there for me to make the report. And why would I call an officer to the scene?
Do you guys know? I know some of you know this. And this is a true story. The Texas Rangers have told her. If you don't know who the Texas Rangers are, they're like the elite officers, detectives, investigators. They're like the FBI of Texas. Very respected. Cowboy hats and everything. I mean, they told her, you know what? Don't call us anymore. Don't call here anymore. Call somebody else, but don't call our office anymore, please. Almost verbatim. Don't call us anymore. Please don't call our offices looking for us. That's fucking hilarious. It is hilarious.
Right. So she wanted to use 2 indictments, pending indictments. One where the star witness was going to be a felon, and 2, where my toxicology reports are nothing. And remember, when I was arrested for that, because I got the transcript. Yes, Annette, I got the transcript. Yeah. When my lawyer had to make his appearance for the first time, and you made me get a lawyer because you all are trying to fundamentally financially break me, right? And so, she got arrested? We're going to tell all the judges of all her cases so that we can revoke her bond and put her in jail. Try it. Try it. And my lawyers were there in district court and told your stupid ass, there's no evidence here.
When she's in court, she's practically a nun. All right. All this Johnny badass attitude, that's crap. Bunch of crap. Because a judge would not put up with that shit. I don't care who he is. They would not put up with that crap. And all this happens and she gets like this, especially after court, she becomes Johnny Badass.
Here, this is just an argument. You can't revoke somebody's bond without evidence. And the district court judge introduced himself to my new lawyer, who I had to get to defend me as you were trying to revoke my bonds, like somebody that is not even a lawyer. What's wrong with you? I get it though. I get it. You thought that this district court judge was going to be like the corrupt ass that you have, the one that I had to get off my cases, the one that retaliated and signed away my custody with a summary judgment, denied me a jury trial. Because you didn't have that judge, you were so desperate that you thought that judge was going to do with that. This judge right here has more accolades and has done more with his life as a lawyer than this other one that was just voted in. And didn't even thought that his ego was so big that he thought, I can get myself involved with this woman's cases during an election year when one of her opponents and her husband bought my law practice for me. Get the fuck out of here. So she thought that she was going to convince this judge to revoke my bond. That's how much. They never do this, by the way, in Willisey County. They never do. Because one of my biggest haters has been arrested more than one time, and the district attorney has not tried to revoke her bonds. No, but it's me. That's how much.
Oh yeah, she did start. She showed part of her.
Throw her in jail so she can't do videos.
Her talk screen once, didn't she? But she only showed like. She showed the wrong part.
Some people didn't know any better. They would think that you purposely did not investigate
of the actual numbers.
My beating, my torture, good enough. You did a weak ass investigation, pinned it on the kids in the room. Some people would imagine that perhaps you did that because your goal was also the same goal as those people. To get her to stop doing those darn Facebook videos.
Okay, so that's correct. If her psych evaluation was so stellar, they tried to do visitation, and they told her not to speak of her ex-husband, not to speak ill of her ex-husband, not to speak ill of the situation. Just don't talk about it. Well, she couldn't do that. So then they did visitation with supervision. Still, she failed at that. So then they did no contact, but you can call them. she still kept talking about her husband and about the case or things that the girls should not have listened to. So it got to a point where they no contact at all. So how does that happen if you had such a stellar psychological evaluation? Explain that to me like I'm a 5-year-old, please.
It is showing how we shouldn't have the positions that we have. Right. So, no. I said no. We go before the district court judge. Oh, on my bond revocation hearing, right after that arrest, the one that she was trying to say, oh, well, I have this indictment, but I'm not going to tell you that it's a felon that's a witness and a known liar. And also she's done a lot of bad things to you all over the internet, and people are witnesses of what she's done to you. So I shouldn't be using her as a witness, so I shouldn't even be using that to try to negotiate bail. That I'm not very smart, even though I'm a district attorney. Also, I'm corrupt, right? And then, of course, the DWI, where I called the police. And the officer was so mad when we got to Harlingen Medical Center that they were going to take forever to draw my blood. And I was like, I want you to draw it ASAP, because this ain't my first rodeo. No, we already went through a mistrial. Yeah. Yeah, on a DWI. Okay. So I know all of, That's why I told you when you got there and you were like, you're going to do a field sobriety test, and you lied to me. And I said, do I have to? I know that I can't refuse a blood test, so can we just go get the blood test? I know you're going to arrest me, but I have work in the morning. Sir, it's raining and it's windy. Those are not conditions for a field sobriety test. Also, 50 pounds over the weight limit, right? You're not supposed to be doing a field sobriety test, right? But lift your leg and hold it up and heel to toe and all that, right? Oh, and you're going to make me do it in the rain with this wind on this uneven side of the road, on this loose gravel. And not only am I 50 pounds over the weight limit, I'm 100 pounds over the weight limit. But you're going to ignore all of that shit. But it's all being recorded by your car and by your officer body camera footage, right? Yes, it is. And I tell you, because what does your rule book say? You're supposed to ask them if they have had any head injuries. You didn't even have to ask me, because I had already read your rules, because I've been through this before. So I told you, sir, the weather conditions. Sir, I'm 100 pounds over the weight limit for this. Sir, I have had more than one severe head injury. I was tortured and beaten, and my head was 3 times its size. The muscles in one of my eyes was so weak. And how many times did I tell you? And you were supposed to what? You were supposed to ask me that. And you didn't even have to ask me that. And I told you? That arrest? Where I called you to the scene? That one?
She didn't call anybody.
So when we get to Harlingen Medical Center, and I'm like, and I tell you, why can't you just arrest me? I know you're going to arrest me. I'm not going to pass this. I'm 100 pounds overweight, right? The only thing I can do is prove that ain't nothing in my system. So let's go. Plus, you didn't even pull me over, right? Just because my keys were in my car. You have nothing else to back up your case. In fact, you're going to look so bad. But once again, it's another officer that thinks because they're an officer, just like a whole police department thought, we're bros, we're all together, we have each other's backs. I mean, come on. What are your fellow troopers gonna do whenever they see that shit? You literally went against everything that you were trained regarding all of that. Right? Right? So, when he takes me to Harlingen Medical Center, this is the same arrest where she was like, I'm gonna go forward with those charges unless she gets a plea deal. Do you think I'm an idiot? You don't think I know all of what I just said right now? What's wrong with you? Oh, that's right, it's still you. You don't learn. You are a knucklehead, and you are trying your damnedest to protect the officials of that video that the public has never seen. That is the number one. That is the number one. You want to protect your ass because you pursued every charge that came from them doing that to me. That's exactly what you want to do. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because I cannot wait to ask those officers, what is it that you're doing there? What is that right there? And what is that action right there?
Are you guys hypnotized by the story yet?
No. It can't be that. It can't be that. Because what you're saying is that actually happened 20 minutes after that. So what was this? That's what I want to see, Annette. That's what I want to see. Because, man, if that's not the thing that's going to put the nail in the coffin of corruption in Willacy County, I mean, I don't know what is. And you're trying to...
Yeah, I'm not doing the politics right now. Marco and
the world finds out about that.
E.G. and Carroll is just full of crap.
They're going to suspend you, and they're going to go through everybody that has ever gotten a plea deal, that has all the evidence of everybody and everything and all that shit. And who did that to herself? Did I do that to you? You're going to feel like I did. You are. You're going to feel like I did. But no one forced you to make me survive you. Nobody did. No.
Survive you.
No.
A bullshit?
Right?
A bullshit?
So
a bullshit.
When we get to Harlingen Medical Center, the officer was like, they're going to take forever. And I'm like, I know. I want you to draw my lab work too. Because I don't want to see you all up in court saying, well, maybe everything went out of her system. But remember, Annette, I don't know what you're thinking because the district court judge even told you. He told your ass. And when you get the lab report back, what? Because I have the transcript right here.
Bam's gone for the night. He's got to be up. Actually, I got to be up at 3:30 in the morning also, but I'm going to stick it for a little bit more here.
When you get the lab report back, I don't want to hear nothing about anything that she has a prescription for.
Yeah, me too, right, Steph? Did she ever mention bad weather before?
So I want to see how the officer is going to explain that, all that shit. Why did you make her do it under these circumstances? Why did you lie to her and say that she had to do a field sobriety test when you do not have to? You can't refuse a blood test, but you can refuse a field sobriety test. And why did you do all that after I asked you for my lawyer? I did. And what does that mean? That means that a defendant asked for a lawyer and you continue to gather evidence via a field sobriety test to use against her after she asked for a lawyer. You don't do that. You don't do that.
Yeah, the problem I have, Marco, is that she's accusing 3 people of doing something that never happened. That's the issue. You don't have to be here watching. There's other channels, other things to watch. So this is the topic of discussion right now. If you don't like it, there's a door there somewhere. You can just go. It's not for you. It's not for you.
Oh, don't worry, Alma. Everybody's gonna see it. Everybody is. Eventually. If you show up to court, you're gonna see it. It's public information. But we'll get to that right now. Because they tried their... we'll get to that right now. Anyway. So... that case where he's like, man, they're taking forever, and I'm like, you know what, sir? I'm a nurse. Let me call all the hospitals in the valley. And I did. And I have my phone records where I call all the hospitals, and finally I get...
But she'll never show them.
Medical center. And they said, oh, we won't make you wait. We'll see you ASAP. Thank you. And I tell him, and he was real happy about that. Let's go. Let's go. If I was not sober, how was I going to do all that? And I can't wait for a jury to see that. Explain that. Explain that. Okay. And another thing. We'll get to that right now. So, yeah, I was like, no. That I remember all these details about? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. Charge me. Let's go. Let's do it. I don't care. Let's do it. So sure enough, I say no to the plea deal, right? It was a county thing, so I don't know why she was telling me something about an indictment. Because you don't do that at the district court level. It's a misdemeanor. What you doing? Right? And the tampering with a witness, where you had a felon that was going to be your witness, right? And what you are saying amounts to, that is like not even in the penal code. That's not witness tampering. That's crazy. None of that shit's gonna stop me from asking for a jury regarding all the cases regarding that recording. Right? You just don't get it. You just don't get it. Okay? You just do not get it. Right? Because you think you are the district attorney and you're a lawyer and that you're gonna get your way. Go ask Bernard Ammerman if he got his way. Go ask him. She got so desperate that she brought in Bernard Ammerman's corrupt assistant district attorney. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. The day that the judge dismissed my other cases, she says, I brought an ADA to help me. And guess who it was? Carlos Masso. Who had helped his little friend Bernard Ammerman get, like, I think 2 other arrests against me. Why did she do that? Because as soon as... that's the only person on the planet that you're going to get to pursue something like that on me. Because a brand new assistant district attorney does not want to ruin their careers. Bye. I got COVID. I can't show up. Bye. I don't know what excuse I'm going to give you again. I cannot work for you no more. I'm sorry. Bye. 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 It's been nice. Bye. Each one of them. But Carlos Masso, he's going to nestle right into the corruption. Right? He was Bernard Ammerman's right-hand man. You know? Right? So, a lot of other things have happened. Right? Right? And so then I'm not surprised because I had been waiting for it. Remember, how come you haven't indicted me for the witness tampering? Because I was right. Because I was right. Because not only will the U.S. Southern District Prosecutor going to be very interested in why you used a felon, a known felon, who has done damage to that defendant in other ways, as a credible witness in an indictment before a grand jury. He's going to be interested in it. I know Greg Abbott would love to see, would be very interested in Democrats behaving badly. I know that too. And I know that, that the U.S. Department of Justice is going to be very interested in that, because that shouldn't be happening. That's public corruption. That's one of the things that they fight, right? But you keep underestimating me, right? You keep doing that. Tell me why since October there's been like 2 grand juries every month, and plus she can convene a special one whenever she wants. Tell me why in almost a year, because October is coming up, tell me why in almost a year she hasn't indicted me for that. Right? So she gets desperate. And I don't know why she thought she could do what I'm about to tell you now. But I learned so much from that first case. I just explained it. So they already got their mugshot, and I'm already on bond. So wasn't that fun for them, right? So I got a notice of arraignment, right? So she's going forward with that. She's not going to want this to go to a jury. She's not. She knows. But she's very stubborn. And the only other reason that you would go forward with something like this is to what? Is to use it as leverage. Shit, I'm gonna go pay my jury fee tomorrow. Because I already pled, which means I can already pay my jury fee. That right there should let you know. Do I have to submit a notice, a memorandum that states, I do not want the prosecution offering me a plea deal regarding this case because it's harassment. And that right there proves that she only did this because she thought she was going to use it as leverage. So no, ma'am, it's going to go one of 2 ways. You're going to dismiss it, or you're going to look like an absolute fool prosecuting this case. Only one of those 2 things is going to happen. That's it.
Yeah, I'm promise you that these conversations never happened. Basically, her attorney told her what was going to happen. She didn't tell anybody anything at all. But, you know, she's got to make herself sound like the boss.
That's it. Right? That's if we get to find a jury in Willacy County. Because the last time we busted it, because everybody in Willacy County knows me. Couldn't find enough jurors. Right? Had to move it to Cameron County.
And that's why she goes live. Or she would go live so much. So when it came time to find a jury, everybody theoretically has to say, yeah, I know her. Do you know, have you seen her online? Have you seen? Yeah, I know. That's what she wants. That's what she wants.
Same thing's going to happen with this. I don't know. You know, y'all cause so many problems, I swear. And do you know, y'all, if y'all are just tuning in and
y'all cause so many problems. The one who's been arrested 12 times. Right? Yeah. Right?
you're haters, this thing is being screen recorded. So when you write a message and then you think that you're real smart and real quick like and take it off, it's already there. It's already been screen captured. If you're barely tuning in. All right? You're not sophisticated. Okay? So, y'all. You know she wasn't in there the day that I got arraigned. She wasn't there. What did she do? she assigned someone else. And I've been seeing him around. He's a new ADA. They never last. They never last. I swear to you, they never last. They're all gone. They're all gone. As soon as they're involved in one of my cases and they know what's happening, they don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. That's why she had to get Carlos Masso, because he's like, I'll do it. I'll do it. That's my thing. That's my shit. It's corruption. Shit, I'll do it. Mm-hmm.
It's getting really annoying now. I think I'm gonna have to speed it up. Like, she knows every conversation that everyone's had everywhere regarding her.
But no other DA will do. How can I do that when that affects the rest of my cases? What am I gonna? First of all, I'm innocent of everything, right?
Right.
First of all, just based on that. But second of all, if I were to take a plea deal because that's the easier thing to do, that means that I'm not, that goes against everything that I was born to be. Because if I do that, that means that I continue to allow you to do this to other people, and I'm just not made, I'm not made from that corrupt fabric that you're made from. I can't. I don't care just about myself. I care about humanity. I care about...
If this isn't one of the biggest crocks of shit in the 21st century, did she just say she cares about humanity? She does not care about herself? Oh, give me a... times it. Give me a friggin' break.
people, and I'm just not made, I'm not made from that corrupt fabric that you're made from. I can't. I don't care just about myself. I care about humanity. I care about my community.
You don't care about your kids, though, do you? You know the story about her kids in the custody fight? I don't know if I'd call it a fight. Custody was, it was a court, it was court to take custody away, remove custody from her. And she wanted to appeal. They said, okay, appeal. You got to pay the fee, though. It's like $200. Well, time came and went. She never paid the $200. So, desperate run at the court, to the court clerk or whoever it is. Please, I need to appeal this. I need to appeal this. You know, I'm sorry I missed the deadline. Okay. We'll give you another week, another 7 days. Nothing happened in those 7 days. She never came with the money. There are people that watch her and follow her religiously. If she would have said, I need help to try to get my kids back, I need to appeal, but it costs this much, she didn't have the money, they would have given her the money. She never went back. Lost custody. Now she wants to play the victim. You care about humanity? You know, you're not supposed to care about anything else in the world, not even humanity, more than your own kids. Right? That shit always pisses me off.
I care about you never doing this to another person. I care about the justice seeker.
In all fairness, she's not supposed to speak about the girls. She's not supposed to mention them, talk about them. Although she has slipped up and she has talked about them on a live, she's not supposed to.
Receiving justice herself. That's what I get wrong. Because unless you receive justice, and unless you feel the hand of justice that you've been wielding this whole time, and you feel it, you feel the knee of justice on the back of your neck, you're going to continue to violate people's constitutional rights. Period. So, I learned from my first one. And I wanted to see what this was all about, because I knew this was bullshit. Because if it had any weight, you would have already tried revoking my bonds. You would have gone back like a crybaby to the district court judges and said, we got it, revoke her bonds. That was my first clue. Also, because I know all the details of the case. And you don't have one.
And she's never, ever talked about... She'll talk about being a victim and surviving. But you never hear her talk about, I fought so hard for them, or I tried to do this for them, I tried to do that for them, or I was trying this, or they... Nothing. That's not exactly mentioning them. She's not supposed to mention them by name, all right? Or give certain details. But that's one thing she never talks about. Doesn't even bring it up. And yes, somebody put it up there. She was asked, well, she said... Somebody asked her, I don't know, during a live in the comments, what would you prefer, however it was phrased, Facebook drama or a peaceful life? And she thought about it, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe. And it looked like she was really thinking about it. But she would rather have Facebook drama than have a peaceful life. That's fucked up. In my opinion, that's messed up.
Right. So.
Hey, Melissa.
I knew that I was going to show up, and I knew that I didn't have a lawyer. Why don't I have a lawyer? Because Annette Hinojosa, the district attorney, did not like that the district court judge had dismissed one of my cases. They should all be dismissed, actually. They should all be dismissed. That's why you keep re-indicting me. Re-indicting me. Because you want to extend the time limit. Because each new re-indictment is a new speedy process. I don't know. Depending on the judge that sees that, they might just think that you're just doing that to bypass a defendant's right to a speedy trial by dismissing the previous charges and re-indicting her under the exact same circumstances with no new information, simply because you want to extend it.
Now, in all fairness to that, initially, all the delays were on her and her attorney. They were delaying this thing. They didn't want to go to court. Used every tactic about delaying. They used it. She's fired so many attorneys, dismissed them. And what happens? There's a delay. Now they got to find a new one. Then they find a new one, delay. Now the motion to extend because I need to get familiar with the case. And that happens so often. And then COVID. And then delays from here to St. Smitten's Day. And even though she says, I want her to go to court. I want to tell my story. Bullshit. She does not want to go, did not want to go, never wanted to go. And that's why this got delayed so much.
It's the same thing. And that's why my story, I want to take these things and I want to take them. And it's like, can we please have an amendment or something? How can prosecutors be able to do that to people? especially when they have no new information. They simply just want to go circumvent the protection that a citizen has for a speedy trial. When the events of the new indictment haven't changed. And then you're forum shopping. You try to get the county court judge to revoke my bond. That didn't work. You've been forum shopping like a drifter, like a grifter.
Forum shopping.
A DA. Let me try with every judge to see who's going to do what the other court judge would have done for us, but he's no longer on the cases because she was smart enough to figure out a way to get him off. You're a forum shopper. How embarrassing. You're a DA. You shouldn't be doing that. So, I prepare for the next day, and I want to know what's going on. I want to know, like, what is this bullshit? Give me everything that I want, right? And so I filed this. I filed it as a defendant, not pro se, as a defendant, just as a defendant. It's defendant's Morton request for discovery and Brady material. I wrote this. It was me. I'm the one that put this together. Nobody helped me. And I put, defendant requests the following. Pursuant to Article 39.14 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, this timely request designates the items requested listed below to be produced by the state to the defendant, and that has been made, and I add, and I'll tell you why. Remember when the other judge didn't want to take my recusal? I already knew. And the 5th Administrative Region 8 years ago reminded me, if this ever happens to you again, and any court fails to file something for you, or you want to make sure that they get it, you email it to us.
Yeah.
Which is what I did with this.
I'm gonna skip. I'm skipping. Ready?
So we'll create undue burden, and that's the writing in Title II. Title II of the ADA Act was made so that people who are protected by that act will not incur undue burden. That's why I wrote it that way. That the court waive any cost related to discovery, as doing so, as charging the defendant will create undue burden on the defendant, which is what the lawmakers wanted to avoid when they drafted Title II of the ADA. Yes, I wrote it that way.
Oh, she's back to that. Yeah, I'm skipping this stuff.
So
3 hours is
the day that I printed this out was the day before charge. They didn't understand. I told him, I said, Judge, I understand that only filing this does not start the time clock. And the time clock for the prosecution to give me everything I requested here starts whenever the state receives my request. And I just want to know if the state received my request, because I didn't do it the traditional way. I sent it via email to the 5th Administrative Region. That guy, that prosecutor, he wouldn't even answer me. Sir, who did you think you are?
Yeah, another conversation that never happened.
You don't ignore me like that. I don't have a lawyer. I don't know what you thought. That was on court record. And I should have said, can I state for the record that the prosecution is refusing to even acknowledge my question here? Why are you just looking down, sir? And why are you just sitting down? He didn't even stand up. I was the one standing up. You would have thought that I was the prosecutor and he was the defendant. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. So I really don't like that. And if that's going to be setting the trend for how things are going to be, I'm probably going to request that transcript, and I'm probably going to make a complaint about how you think you can ignore me. And be lucky, you're going to be lucky that I don't send that to the State Bar, and that I only send it to the U.S. Department of Justice, and I'm going to do it under Title II. Because if somebody that's protected under Title II is trying to ask you what's going on, you need to tell them what's going on. You can't just ignore them. All I was asking you was, did you receive this? But you know what I think he thought? I think he thought I was crazy. Because I don't think
he's not wrong.
Ever heard
he
of
wasn't
anybody
wrong.
filing anything. He probably thought, that's not how you file things. I bet you anything that he thought, she doesn't know what she's doing. That's not how you file things. Because I've never heard of it. That's how a lot of my haters think.
So she has so much to say and can remember every single word that was said after so many conversations with so many attorneys, judges, the DA. And she can go on and 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 on. Now, she claims to have a photographic memory. But a normal mind, like most of y'all, I know some of you are crazy, but, generally speaking, someone rambles this much about certain things, that they're just making shit up as they go along. Keep adding to the story. At least that's the impression that I get. It's like never ending.
Right? Because I've never gone through it, I'm going to make up my own opinion about it. Her, right? Because I've never gone through what she went through. But I'm going to open my mouth and have a judgment on her, right? That's the same thing that a lot of these smart people with law degrees and stuff like that I have dealt with and that are no longer there anymore because of what I stated earlier, most likely, is that I really do think he thought, like, that's not the way you do things. That's not, that may be, they never consider the possibility that they are ignorant, that certain things, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And sometimes people with law degrees can be ignorant to that, especially when skinning that cat is absolutely written in the code that you can do that. I mean, So, so then the next day, because I knew what the 5th Administrative Region, even though I had already filed this with the court itself, I told the clerk, you're probably going to get another one exactly like this, because what the 5th Administrative Region does is they send the document to all the parties. So
Rihanna, thank you so much for the super sticker.
I mostly care about the state getting.
You're all right. You're all right. You know that? You're all right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I called the next morning, actually, and I asked her, because if she got it, I know that they got it. And I wasn't going to call them because they were already acting like fools, thinking that they didn't have to answer me. Sir.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up soon, so I'm going to
it's going to be me and you probably.
Skip forward. We got about 20 minutes left.
I wanted him to know, if you're annoyed right now, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. And why were you telling me you're coming in here late on that day that he told my lawyer, let's go in chambers? That's why you couldn't call my case. I wonder, why aren't they calling my case? Why are you going straight to chambers? This never happens. And he got mad at me when I walked into and he tried to humiliate me and say, Miss Tijerina, are you walking in late? And I just looked at my lawyer and I said, please tell him right now before I get myself in trouble.
You know that's a bullshit lie. Oh my goodness.
Judge, it was my fault. I didn't tell her that she... But still, why were you opening up your mouth when you know you couldn't do anything at that point? Why did you open up your mouth to me as a district court judge, knowing that you can't do shit to me? You have no discretion towards me anymore because you caused a conflict of interest in all of the things you did to me. That's why your ass is gonna right now, when you think that you can get after me for coming in late, knowing that you can't do shit to me, even if I was coming in late and even if I was wrong. You can't do anything, because right now you're gonna take everybody into chambers and your ego is gonna make you lie to them and make it seem like if it's your choice. When really, your boss got you off my cases. That's what this video was about.
That's what this video was about.
And this is what I have to say. Y'all, what happens when you keep putting somebody into a battle? What happens?
What
Do you
happens?
want to know what happens? What do you think
Enlighten
happens?
us. Enlighten us.
What do you think happens when you keep forcing someone to fight? Different battles, one after another, after another, after another, and after another. Because they're coming in at me with their steely swords. And I'm coming at them with my proverbial steely swords. And so we're battling it out with their steely swords against my steely swords.
Steely swords.
You have a law degree and all that shit. But when you do this to the same person, usually you just do it to one person, maybe one or two cases, whatever. But when you do this under these circumstances to a person, right, that knows that she is highly protected by the divine and that God got her.
By
Right?
the divine.
What do? Steel sharpens steel. You force me to fight, my swords are going to get sharper. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Not that my swords were not already sharp. You know what I mean? But yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, my name is Vanessa Tijerina, and this is just part of my survival story. Okay? This is just part of my survival story. Alright? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So thank you all for staying with me. I did this for a long time. Didn't I do that?
Good night, Juju Bean.
Yes. Yes, Michelle. Stronger and stronger and stronger. Every battle that you get put into, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. Every single time. When a gymnast enters a competition, every competition they enter, they get stronger and stronger. Same thing for a boxer. Same thing for an MMA fighter. Same thing for a debater. Stronger and stronger and stronger. You see, you never want to become
Valerie.
the monsters that caused you to survive them. You never want to do that. But there's an exception.
Welcome to the page. You better not let Vanessa know that you're in here. She'll get mad at
You
you.
want to become the level of strength or surpass it of the monsters that made you.
Tell V we said hi.
That
Give her
you
our
wanted
love.
to. That you wanted to. Okay. Thank you. That's it. That's all I have to say. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Also, I reached a milestone. I finally weighed myself. I've been lifting weights, so the scale wasn't really moving. Mm-mm. And I stopped weighing myself because the scale was just not, my body fat was going down, but my weight was going up. And, it just does something to you, even though I'm a biologist and I knew this is actually really good. I was the same weight, but I see my body changing because the fat was going away in places and my muscles were increasing in other places, right? But finally today, I saw it on the scale. And I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Valerie commented this, by the way.
A lot of weight. It was the most weight I had ever lost.
I'll put it in the comments.
And I got down to the most I ever weighed was actually when I got this tummy tuck, right? But before that, the most I ever weighed was like 220. And back in 2007, I went on a huge health kick. Like I was doing cardio, but I wasn't lifting weights. And I never hit a plateau, ever. And I was watching my diet. But I didn't have a tummy tuck, and I had already had 2 kids, right? So when I got to 160 something pounds,
That never happened either.
I wasn't liking how my body was looking. No. No. All the fat was going away, and I didn't like how my body was looking. I started to miss my old me because honestly, my tummy looked better when I was chubbier. So now, when I hit...
This is what Valerie commented on the
very, very
in the last video.
because that stomach is gone. So I'm interested. All right. I love you, Jennifer. I have no makeup on. None at all. None at all. I just finished working out. And yeah.
You just finished
I
like
need to show
4
you
hours
things
ago?
that I've been using on my skin. I wouldn't steer you wrong.
Okay, this is where I come to an end here.
If there's anything else that y'all would be interested in on TikTok. All right, don't do that. All right, just use it every night. Use it every night. Okay, you can use it with those little, wherever your problem areas are. Then I put it all over my feet, and I put socks on. But it probably work better if you use those like latex little booties that are made for that to hold in whatever it is you want on your feet overnight. Just use it. I know what I'm telling you. It's gonna help your pedicures last longer. And I think that's it. Yeah.
What the hell is she doing? I thought she was pulling a Stevie Wonder. I saw her
Because I have
go.
to concentrate. Because I'm gonna be honest. When I saw the scale this morning,
That's impossible.
we're gonna be going ham.
Basic physiology. Correct me if I'm wrong with that word. Basic physiology. Lose fat, okay. Burn fat, all right. Doing weights. So now you're creating more muscle mass, creating bigger muscles. That's why it's... Anyway,
That was.
time to say goodbye.
I'm right there. I'm right there. Yes. That gave me so much motivation. All right. But also, I need to concentrate on this. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this. And, yeah. Plus, I have to get my binder ready for the U.S. Department of Justice, right? And
She ain't gonna do a god darn thing with the Department of Justice, please. And if she did, they're gonna go. You can leave it here. Have a nice day.
And yeah, to tell
Delusions of grandeur is what she suffers from.
my story of all these, people who thought that they could just get away with doing this to me, right?
Oh, thank you, April.
Neymar Locke says, I'm going
Thank
to the
you. That was
moon."
cool.
It's 3:15 in the morning. You're a man making a stupid comment on my page.
If you want to. It's down there. Cash App or PayPal.
That equates to troll.
It's the same, the dollar sign. You see it?
Bye.
There's the Cash App.
Off with you. Right.
And yes, it is
I'm
for
gonna go to sleep.
tips. It's not obligatory. If you want to drop a little something in there, I don't care what anybody says. I'm not. The whole thing. All the other pages complaining about, they're putting his Cash App. But yeah, shut up. I don't care what you gotta say. I hardly ever put it up there. Somebody wants to leave a tip. They like the program.
Thank you. Good night.
Feel free. If you don't want to, that's okay too.
I love you all too. Thank you.
So,
And if you
and I know that'll come up. It always
before I go to sleep, I
makes
pray
its way back to me.
for everybody. And if you can even think a positive vibe.
I put
coming
that there
my
because
way,
someone asked for it. That's why.
Even if you all make up a third of the number of my haters, because your energy is positive, it overshadows all of that. That's what I love about positive vibes and just positivity and high vibrations. They are so much more potent and stronger than anything negative.
You can imagine what kind of
Anything.
vibrations she likes.
Anything at all. And like when you have an authentically hateful person, I guess that's why I'm not so I can deal with that, because I'm authentically a good person. Like, I'm authentically a good person. Right away, science already told me, and recently, that that's stronger than, unless you are another person that vibrates at my level of vibration, and you are as good a soul as I am, you will not be stronger than me. But then it wouldn't even matter, because you wouldn't be out there doing bad stuff. We'd probably be friends, because when you have two vibrations that are very similar, do you know what happens? It doubles it. That's physics.
It doubles it.
High vibrating people can really change the world. I'm not even kidding. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. I'll be dressed up nicer next time. Okay? Promise. Mwah. Yes, 369, 369, 369. And Corinthians 13:13. When you don't have anything else, and all that's left is hope, faith, and love, the strongest of those three is love. And unless you have positioned yourself in my life, against me, then you won't believe that about me. But the people that know me and the people that don't know me that can detect realness, but the people who know me in my life, friends, coworkers, whatever, who are not mean people, they know how loving I am.
Right.
They know that love will never leave me. They know. I don't know why y'all, haters, why do you keep...
If they loved you so much, they wouldn't let you be in this mess that you're in. That's what real friends do. And that's what people that really care, they care, and they show it. They wouldn't let you poop and pee in a bucket. It would have helped you recover your kids if you wanted to recover your kids.
Doing that, this has all been screen recorded. Don't be doing that. All right? Okay, that's it. I love y'all so much. I love y'all. Okay? Bye.
Oh, bye now.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. That's all I have. I used to think, and you all who have followed me for a long time, I and it's true still. It's true still. I used to think that all I had was the ability to sound more practical, more logical, and more reasonable than any person or group or anything that opposes me. That's all you have in this life. Anybody, that's all anybody has. That in addition to that, if you happen to have those three qualities, and you're able and you're stronger than anything that opposes you, and you have those three abilities, right? And you have mastered those three abilities. On top of that, you're authentic. There's no stopping you. There's no stopping you.
Oh, she's a motivational speaker now.
Thank you so much, Sherry. She says, remember, you are a daughter of the Most High. He will not forsake you. No. 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 Jesus has never left my side. Jesus has never left my side. Ever. He was in that room when they thought that they could destroy my face. Which is why I felt no pain from the first strike on my face. Because Jesus and God were there. And I've always known that I'm highly protected. Always. All of y'all. Thank you. Bye. Have a great rest of your week.
Just playing devil's advocate. But if he's always there protecting you, then why didn't he protect you before, it started or whatever? Just saying, I got my own opinions on religion. A lot of questions. I am Christian by tradition. But, a lot of things happen in this world that make me question things. So, and she says she's very in the faith, but she's not. She's not. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me for 3 hours and 32 minutes. Holy crap. So really, we only skipped about 40 minutes of it. Believe that? It was only 40 minutes, all that skipping we did. We only saved 40 minutes. That's pretty funny. So, be back at what's today? Thursday? Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow we've got the season opener of the Camille Playhouse here locally in Brownsville. I'll be going to that. Broadcasting live from the Camille Playhouse. They're doing a play called Into the Woods, and they're having a little foo-foo, hors d'oeuvres and wine before around 5 o'clock. I'll be broadcasting around 5 p.m. Central. So show them some support. Tune in and just watch. Ask some questions. That'd be great. They are on a volunteer basis over there, so not asking for money. Support watching would be great if you can. That's tomorrow at 5 p.m. and we'll be there for a little while, and it'll be a fun night. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for being here with me. I do appreciate you very much, and that's all for now. Have a good night, everybody.